Welcome to No Quarters, episode 3.
Hey, we're a video game podcast.
Yes.
Woohoo.
That we are. I am Mackie.
I'm the Beach.
And I'm Harlow.
And we got our intros out of the way early this time.
Yeah.
Yay.
We didn't wait until 20 minutes in.
It's almost
Yeah.
like we've done this 30 or so times now.
Yeah. So, Xbox 360 software, PS3 hardware, PC games, customization. Thanks for visiting No Quarters.
Was that your Twitter summary of
Yeah, what was that, 140 characters
the
there?
gaming landscape?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. What about the DS?
Yeah.
Or the Wii?
And the PlayStation Portable.
We're talking about platforms that matter.
Oh.
Wow.
Burn. No, I just I wanted to get that out of the way so we didn't look like total Xbox fanboys this episode.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm going to
What are
talk
you
about playing
saying?
some games on the PC.
I've played games on the Nintendo Wii,
What?
also known as the Nintendo Revolution,
Who bought a Wii?
back in the day.
Why would you play on the Wii?
Because it's fun
Oh, okay.
when it works, sometimes.
It's for casual gamers only.
Yeah.
I thought you were a
Well,
hardcore gamer.
it got my girlfriend to play games.
Ooh,
Who you've seen, she won't even play Rock Band.
I know.
But yeah,
she is
was-
reticent to put her hands upon a controller.
Yeah,
Yeah, even DJ Hero. Which, not
yeah,
that
she
hard.
wouldn't even
We
do
could-
DJ Hero, and that's all her type of music. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so let's just go from there. Played Wii Sports Resort.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, it makes me realize why I don't play the Wii all that often. It's because I guess I've just become too conditioned to use a normal controller.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like stuff like doing the ping pong or shooting the basketball, it's I don't know. I guess my brain can't translate it properly, and of course my girlfriend's hers very quickly picked up on everything.
And whooped your ass, didn't she?
Oh my god, it was embarrassing, some of the stuff. Ping pong we were doing all right. I was like putting spin on the ball, and she's like,
Right.
"Fuck you! What the fuck?" She was getting all pissed because she couldn't figure out. And then she figured it out and started destroying me, like
Yeah.
just completely annihilating me. And we did. There's one after you, because with Wii Sports Resort, there's like 12 games that are open in the beginning, and then after you play it a couple times, it unlocks like a new version of it, like bowling. You do bowling, you play a
Right.
game, it unlocks 100-pin bowling,
Right.
and then after 100-pin bowling's unlocked, it unlocks one with like an obstacle course type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And ping pong, you play a game, and then it unlocks it's like a serve return mode, which is basically a dude just keeps serving at you, and you just keep returning it until you miss. Yeah, I got 6.
She got like 30, didn't she?
She got 78.
Holy shit!
Damn.
I was like,
Pwned you.
Yeah, I was like, "Are
Wow.
you gonna stop?" And she's like, "Shut up! I'm concentrating."
Holy crap!
It was fun. It was fun to watch her do this because when she'd bean it back at the guy who was serving it to her, it would hit him in the face, and he'd like flinch back, and a little star would burst on his face.
Nice.
I didn't want to point that out to her because I figured it would mess her up, but
Right. Was she hitting his face like every time?
pretty much, yes.
Jesus.
And there's also like a little, there would be like a little aluminum can would show up on his side of the table, and you get extra points for hitting that. And
She's the ping pong wizard.
yeah, do not play Wii Sports ping pong with her.
I'm afraid to play ping pong. Period.
Yeah.
She might kill me.
I have the secret
Right.
theory that she's actually awesome at games, and that's why she doesn't play. Kind of
So
like
she
that-
doesn't embarrass the boys.
Well, no. Like one of those things, like like the badass warrior who's gone into retirement. Like, I've just killed too many men in my day.
There's a bronze bust of her at like an arcade somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
And when I was playing Shadow Complex, she was like sitting on the other couch watching me, like reading a book, and she'd look up and she'd be like,
You missed a ledge.
yeah, she'd be like, shoot that vent up there. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I look, and there's a vent right up. I was like, oh, you're kidding me? I never saw that before.
Now that I have noticed about her, she is excellent at the assist.
Yeah.
She, you may be onto something, Harlow, with this.
I'm thinking that's
this
my theory.
Freaky.
But she could not do. There's the frisbee in Wii Sports Resort, like where you throw the frisbee to the dog and you have to hit it a certain way.
Yeah.
That one escaped her completely.
Wow.
Like she couldn't. She got through the tutorial and she was like, "This is not fun. This is crap. Let's play something else." I was like, "Okay, fine."
Did you do any dogfighting?
Dogfighting.
I think there's dogfighting in the Wii Sports Resort.
Like, wait, what?
Not like Michael Vick style, but I mean, it has like
gonna say,
like
I
an
was like-
airplane with balloons.
I was
or
like,
something.
we didn't do the frisbee one, so we didn't unlock the next level.
Right.
You could soar with the eagles. Michael Vick's dogfighting.
Right.
No, but yeah, we did that. We did the basketball one. We did archery quite a bit, which
Yeah.
I had never played that one just because I
Does
knew
that
how,
require the nunchuck owl?
Yes, and I didn't like how I never played it because it sounded stupid the way you do it. Is you hold the hold the Wiimote like kind of like straight up in your hand, like in your fist, and then you actually aim that way, and then you pull back with the nunchuck, which sounds stupid until you actually do it, and then
you feel like a real archer.
It feels really cool. I don't know why, but
You
it's
feel like Rambo in
kind
Rambo.
of, yes.
Or your
Problem
archery
is,
dudes.
I was bummed because there's nobody that watches you play. When you're doing the archery, usually like some games, there's like all the little me's are jumping around like, oh, hey, yeah. Ping pong, they were like all cheering for me when I aced her, and and archery they're not, because I was just going to start aiming into the crowd to see what happened. But
It's just like
That's
somewhere
why.
off in the distance, there's just a little Gina Davis me. You can do it.
yeah, but that game's fun, and that shows you that like the Wii can actually work when the games are designed for it and not just dumped onto the system.
Right.
But
And that uses a Motion Plus.
yeah, it
Takes
uses Wii
advantage
Motion
of that.
Plus. The only thing about Wii Motion Plus is every once in a while you have to pause and set it down on a flat surface
So it can recalibrate.
Yeah, and
What does it have, like a gyro in it or something?
something
I don't know. Magic.
So yeah, it's
Wizardry.
there's a little magic elf inside.
Very small elf.
He just shouts at
He
the
is Wii.
He shouts at the Wii. He's like, left. You went left.
Left, right, up, down.
It's the same guy that like controls the light in your refrigerator.
Oh.
Same kind, same brand.
What if you're playing Wii Sports Resort and somebody goes to the fridge? Does the light not turn on?
That's when it tells you to put it down because he's got to run over and take care of the fridge for a second.
That's when you have to recalibrate it.
Yeah.
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 I mean, what is the deal
Yeah.
with refrigerator lights?
So we had to recalibrate every once in a while, and it was funny when we were playing tennis too. She kept getting too close to the screen.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she was really getting into a swinging.
Oh.
She didn't hit the screen or
Okay.
anything. Yeah, but it was like I'd be standing way back by the couch, and she'd be like 3 feet over to the right and in front of me, like swinging, just missing the screen. She's like, "I'm not gonna hit the screen. Quit worrying."
You're going to
I'm
hit
like-
the screen.
I'm like, "You don't have to jump forward when you swing. It's fine."
Yeah. I eventually, when I was playing, my brother's got a Nintendo Revolution Wii, and I actually got Wii Tennis elbow from playing.
Did you play that much Wii tennis?
played-
You were just swinging that hard, weren't you?
No, I just
Oh.
played a shitload
Oh,
of Wii
okay.
Tennis, and I finally learned to just kind of hang back and just waggle my wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to tell her that all these games you could just play sitting on the couch. and
Even
not
better, you
having
could
to-
tie him to the ceiling fan.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You win.
Sword fighting, we had a lot of fun with sword fighting too.
Yeah, I'll bet you did.
Yeah. Hey. Whoa. Hey. Yeah, but that was.
Throw one a week.
But
There you go.
The
yeah, I
diabolical
gotta-
box.
I gotta say, like those games, it's though you can play them just sitting down on the couch, being completely immobile except for your wrist, which is how I am every.
I don't need no
evening.
damn Nintendo for that.
But it's more fun when you can get into it. But I don't know. Wii
That's what
Sports
she
Resort-
said. Hi, welcome to the No Quarters
Yeah.
Dick and Fart Joke podcast.
Yeah.
I know.
All right.
Gutter.
But yeah, Wii Sports Resort, better than Wii Sports. Bowling's better. Golf I didn't do because
Really,
So they
bowling's
go-
better. That was my favorite on the original.
So they
It's-
have
it's-
bowling
it's-
in Wii Sports Resort also?
yes, but
Why?
it has like the 100-pin variation and
Right. But I mean, what's the you already have bowling
Well,
on
does
the
motion
it
plus.
detects a lot better. Like if you put spin on the ball, it detects it much better
Oh,
than
okay.
the original Wii did. And I can only assume golf works better because golf
God, it'd have to.
golf on the original Wii Sports was complete shit.
Yeah, I know.
It was completely worthless.
I think
And that highlighted all the worst parts of the Wii
Yeah.
was you can do the exact same thing like
100
you,
times.
You know you did the exact same thing 100 times and you're going to get a different result. 95 of them.
I'd like to see like a Mythbusters where they put that fucking thing on a robot and see them do it 100 times and see the
Yeah,
variation.
It would not surprise me.
It'd probably the same thing
But-
would not happen once.
yeah,
but
golf
yeah,
was
I-
bar none the worst, and boxing is slightly above that.
Yeah.
because boxing you punched about 3 or 4 more times than it registered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
boxing you could move way too fast for it to register,
Yeah.
and it would just. I think anything where you have to use like the gyroscope that's in the
Nunchuck.
nunchuck, I think that's when things go bad,
Yeah.
and that's why archery works because all you really do is you're pulling it back,
Right.
and you're doing all the aiming with the actual Wiimote. But
the most awesome thing is to see my youngest niece do the Wii boxing. Because all she does, she like holds him out, and then she just punches. That's all she does. She just punches like an 8-year-old, and just punches and punches and punches, and she doesn't stop between rounds. She just punches for like for like 10 minutes.
No, you can wait for like 10 seconds. No.
Did you give her an 8-ball before she started playing? What the fuck?
Apparently wants to beat people up.
Wow.
So
No, there's something better than that, and that's watching your overweight older sister-in-law on the Wii balance board doing the labyrinth game, where you basically
dear
have
God.
to move your whole body like you're controlling the labyrinth.
wow.
That is classic times right there.
Wah, 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 wah.
I mean, she was laughing at herself. She wouldn't
Wait,
care
let
me
me
saying
see
this. I mean, it was just a thing to behold.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've just proven you can actually have fun with the Wii.
Well, yeah, you can have fun with the Wii as long as you're blind to its foibles, which
Yeah.
are many.
All right, that's
yeah,
enough
so-
Nintenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So hey, Wii.
So moving on to something else.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to
what's
throw
you
in
been
my
playing?
I want to throw in my 2 cents about Shadow Complex real quick.
Oh, Shadow Complex.
Just because I've now played through it at least as much as you have. Well, maybe not time wise, but
Yeah, points wise.
points wise, whatever. I finished the game, did 100%, yada yada,
And did all the
and all the
Challenge
proving
rooms.
grounds. Yeah.
yeah.
So yes,
pretty awesome.
it's totally worth $15. It's not perfect. There are a couple things my main complaint, and the thing I would most like to see it change should they make another one, is it's one of those games where it's nice because it's a collection quest thing, but they help you. You know, everything you find other than the gold, which ultimately helps you, but along the way you see no benefit of finding the gold bars. Same thing with the passkeys technically, but
Yeah.
everything else pretty much helps you along the way as you get them. The problem is by the time you can get everything, it's the very end of the game. So you've collected this, you've gotten this awesome gun, this awesome armor, finally got all your upgrades to your stuff in that, and the game's over. You get no chance to use them. And it's like, I like that it has a system where you get them out throughout, but I would have liked to see a little bit more game after getting that last piece.
Right.
Yeah, that was a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, it was also disappointing that I realized that I could reach the end with only, well, I mean, there was the achievement for getting 13%
Yeah,
of the
the
items or
minimalist.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was around 60% when I got to the end section, and I said, oh, crap, I need to turn around and go back.
Yeah.
Which you said you knew it was, you got to that point because you were in just a random hallway and it started saving.
Yeah,
I
there's
think.
normally save rooms you walk in. It's all kind of like a grid system. That's how this game plays. You watch on the map and you move from box to box around this grid basically. And you normally have to hit these special rooms that have a star on them, and they save your game. But I was just walking through a random thing and it said saving, and I was like, oh crap, something's about to happen. Like, this must be the end of the game. So I just turned around and went the other way and went around to find the last of the stuff.
Yeah, I think yours was spaced out a little different than mine because, I got the shotgun is the last, the good gun that you get. And I got that, and I used that quite a bit when I was just
Really?
hunting around
Okay.
for all the stuff.
Yeah, I had
Because I think
really
I kind of blitzed through and you were finding more stuff as you went, whereas
Yeah.
I was kind of passing that up just to get to the next upgrade.
Right. And I got it basically when I really didn't have to kill anybody. They were just the respawning dudes along the way of me going from point A to point B. So, yeah, that was a little disappointing just because, you finally get this awesome gun. You finally get, the armor that you take no damage, and you really get no chance to use it by the time you...
Yeah, that was the last thing I got,
Yeah.
of
So-
course.
It's a little unfortunate in that fact, but it is still a great game, and it's a definite bargain at $15.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I still love it. I will probably do the 13%.
And it looks amazing. I think you really undersold that. It's like, for basically a 2D game, it is amazing. I love the...
Well, it uses the Unreal Engine?
Yeah.
It uses the Unreal Engine to make a side scroller. So
it's awesome looking.
I was really impressed when I first. I think we talked about this last time, but when I saw the gameplay footage, I'd heard about it, but I was like, whatever. Box art looks stupid.
Yeah.
The lack of box art.
Right. Well, they still make box art for it.
Oh, yeah, the online
Well,
ones.
I think the way they drop you into the very beginning of the game and where the demo starts hurts the game somewhat because they show kind of like a real big depth of field in this opening
right.
part, and you can only go left or right.
Right.
You can only aim up or jump, and it's kind of that, that kind of immediately turned me off.
Right.
And then once I realized, okay, I can, then once you got into the game, you realize that, yeah, you're never running up the way that they have you in the beginning of
Right.
the demo. I think that's the only thing that really hurts it about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things where you adjust very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad I persevered with it, you know. And
Yeah. I think once you get past kind of the initial shock of it's of the 3D
3D looking,
3D look,
2D
but only
playing.
2D playing, it looks like it's pretty easy to adjust. But I saw that the first gameplay footage I saw that I was like, whoa, how did I miss this? It looks friggin' sweet.
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I will play through and get the 13%. I don't know if I'll play through enough to get level 50 or whatever.
Yeah, that's a bit much. I mean, considering
any of
I
the,
finished the game at level 21. I mean, you know, and you got 30 more levels to play through.
I saved my game. When I got near the end, I saved it to my memory unit. I kind of copied it over because I know one of the special achievements was, you know, what was it? I think it was leave Claire to her fate.
Okay.
Not one of the achievements, but it's like one of the master challenges at the very. If you look in the achievement screen, there's like there's one that's called Jason Bailey, which is, you know, beat the game on insane in under 3 hours or something like that. Just like it's a Metroid reference.
Oh, okay.
Remember Justin Bailey? But that was the code you'd put in to get the Metroid in the, what is it, Samus in the swimsuit or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
I never
But since
had
the
any of
guy's
those.
name is Jason,
Okay, gotcha.
anyway, yeah, there's that one. There's another one, and I think the one where he'd leave Claire to her fate was Status Update Single, was the name of it. Which,
Nice.
yeah, I kind of like that, but I don't know how you do that one because you'd have to leave her in that one room that you leave her
Never
in,
go
and-
back, I guess. or
Yeah, I don't
something?
know how you'd have to avoid that room altogether because.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, my knocks against it are minor. It's still definitely worth getting. What's the deal? Why is it only... Is it specifically developed by Microsoft, so it's not going to be on anything else? I mean,
It was published by Microsoft Game
Oh,
Studios.
so, yeah. Sorry, Xbox One.
Maybe it'll be on games for Windows.
Could be on the Windows.
Probably could be.
Yeah. Probably look really good on there.
Yeah, and Nolan North, even though he's not.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, the Unreal Engine can
Yeah.
look even better on
Oh, yeah.
PC.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but you really don't need
Oh, I know.
much more
I
for
know.
this game.
You could
Graphically,
throw in some PhysX support.
right?
So when the
Yeah,
guys
but
fall on
it's-
screen, they ragdoll properly.
But
So
really,
Nolan North.
Yeah, there's not much I'd change about that game. Nolan North is just there's only a little bit. There's not as much cutscene dialogue type stuff as maybe I would have liked a little bit, but
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel come out and be a full-fledged game. I think they probably did this to kind of like to lay the groundwork, really to
Could
say
be.
like, you know, we're going to make a much bigger game.
well, it is part of
Shadow or Complexer.
Yeah,
it's part of I guess an Orson Scott Card novel.
right.
Oh,
Empire.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
hearing
like
that.
it's like a tie into that somehow, which I had no idea until it showed up on the credits. I think at the end.
Yeah.
Orson
But yeah, I
Welles.
mean, you know, this is kind of a hard thing to pitch. I mean, like, hey, go buy a $60 game that's a 2D side scroller in the current generation, you know?
Right.
So if you say like, well, this is a 3-hour version of it that's cost $15, you know, try it. If you like it, we'll make a full one later.
Or they're putting the IP out there so
Yeah.
that they can build on it later. And it's, I mean, I don't know how much it costs to develop this, but considering,
It's one of those cases where it's pretty awesome that these new channels for games exist.
yeah,
You know, because way back when, you know, in the original Xbox days and PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 days, you know, it was...
you had to buy your game in a
couldn't-
store.
Yeah, you couldn't put something like this out. It would have to be
Right.
a value game. And then it's kind of like, well, it wouldn't look as good as it does now.
Right.
You know? So,
Well, it's also nice that we have, you know, things like the Unreal Engine and the Crysis Engine and stuff like that. And I'm sure that there was something like this further back, but you can use these things, I wouldn't say open engines, but you can buy a license to use this engine and make a completely different game than it was originally designed
Yeah, it
for.
saves you the engine design where you
Yeah.
just hire skinners and things like that.
Right. Otherwise, you'd spend, you know, millions and millions in development of
Oh
new
yeah,
engines.
that's the thing. Is like, I mean, that's the problem. Is so many games that have not come out in the past have been because they were designing the engine up until the point that that generation of whatever went away.
right.
And that's
yeah, well, I've heard it described like the movie industry, you know. When everybody makes a big super blockbuster, they don't build new cameras for it. They don't, you know,
Right.
just create a new brand of film just for this movie, you know, which
With some exceptions.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's like they, you know, they they have to build the sets, but they don't have to build the buildings that the sets go in. So,
Right. They don't
it's
have
like
to build the cameras.
They don't have to do everything from the ground up, which for a long time that's how games were. It was
Right. Everybody had their own engine.
Yeah, everybody had to
Right.
build from the ground up, and now it's like you can license the engine and
Yeah.
Go to town.
go. So
Yep.
yeah, that's
Which is nice.
And that's probably why we're entering the age where
The age of
story
video games.
Well, the age of story being important. I mean,
Age of
like
Dragons.
think about it. I mean, you go back to even PlayStation 1 games. I mean, with a few exceptions. I mean, they were not overly story driven.
No.
I mean,
Unless
even
it was one of the Japanese games.
well, yeah, but even still, I mean, they were
The
generally
game-
kind
even
of
then
weird.
The stories
yeah,
made no sense.
exactly.
Right.
I mean, because Resident Evil, for all the things we love about it, what the fuck is a Resident Evil about? I mean, does anybody really understand? I mean, come on.
It's about
There's a virus
shooting
and it
things.
turns people kind of into
The
zombies that aren't
Dogs
zombies.
jump through the window.
Yeah.
Shoot things.
And Final Fantasy, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me what the fuck one Final Fantasy is about. Any of them.
But it really
Final
it lets them focus on polish.
I know, yeah.
as opposed to getting it to work.
All right.
So, but yeah, it's a good thing that it allows games like Shadow Complex to exist.
Yeah, I mean, this generation of games is just, I mean, like, I actually have memorable stories. I remember, like, reading a book or watching a really good movie or something, and it's like, yeah, I mean, even the ones that are still a little bit weird and a little bit video gamey, like BioShock, I mean, it's just like, the twists and turns that took are just totally different than what we used to get in games. You know?
Yeah. Even welcome to the Modern Warfare cast, but like even the COD 4, even though it's kind of a it's still the story wasn't fantastic, but it was
for that kind of game,
but-
it's really good.
right. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I was going to go on to say. I mean, for that kind of game, it was a really good story, and even something like just a shooter, just shoot dudes, starting to have pretty decent stories to run with them.
Well, I
At
think-
least they're looking at it as a core component of the gameplay.
Yeah. Well, while we're on that subject, I do have to throw out that while we're talking about the duties, I have to throw out a quick one.
What's that?
Is that apparently, did you read the news that, or at least a rumor anyway, that Infinity Ward will not be making Modern Warfare 3,
What?
Yeah.
and that they're
I
going to
heard
be
about
moving
this.
on to some sort of MMO? I don't know what that means.
Call of Duty fucking lame noob edition.
Well, yeah, some sort of Call of Duty MMO they want to work on, maybe.
Well, like you said, they've already got the grinding down. With
Yeah.
the way
Yeah.
the levels work on.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
It's
That's
going to be
great.
like we can run around and kill people because we spend all day in this game.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So I guess
they-
what do you think? It'll just be a Call of Duty type multiplayer with an even deeper.
I guess.
deeper
I mean,
perk
it's probably
system.
they might try to do some sort of persistent world, like what I was saying with what happened with World War II Online. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like
That's what I was gonna.
I mean, if done right, that could be really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of things they'd have to take into consideration to make it good because you can't just have some guy who's grinded out level whatever top end number is
Yeah.
going against running around and killing these people who just bought the game. That's going to make a whole bunch of people say fuck this game.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of, and they might not do it with. Of course, it's not going to be World War II themed. I know that because
No.
that's a way too touchy subject, and none of the German players would be able to play it. But they'll probably do or what I think they should do is like a World War III, us versus the terrorists.
Yeah,
I guess
or
because
whomever.
that's the hot thing, is terrorists.
Yeah, I mean, really, because you don't have. It's not alienating one group per se. I mean, there could be.
Right.
I mean, there's terrorists right here in the United States. I mean,
Right.
it's just
We just
people
call
who
them-
are against the law.
Terrorists are the
Let's
new
just say
Nazis.
that. Yeah,
Right. They're the new communists, which were the new Nazis.
Right.
sure.
But I do really like the idea of maybe a persistent world with maps where you can, as you push forward, it
yeah,
it,
Well, and
I don't know. It's like every 3 months it resets.
I don't-
for everybody.
Yeah, I don't want like a spore thing, but it'd be really interesting if like you hit a certain level and suddenly you're in command and you can like not really be fighting. You're back in the bunker, directing the flow of all the guys. Like, something like that could be interesting. I don't want to,
Like
I
you
said,
decide.
Well, that's supposed to be what MAG is.
Is it?
Well, not necessarily that your guy hangs back and just leads
Yeah.
people, but it's kind of like you're the squad leader and you tell people where to go, and they get like more experience if they follow your orders.
Yeah,
But if you're a crap,
Right.
leader, they don't have to follow them, and they can
Sure.
still,
yeah, I mean,
contribute.
I
but-
think we're at a point where you could pull off a realistic full-on war simulator, and from all levels.
Hyper-realistic murder simulator.
Yeah, from grunt to general. I mean,
Yeah, I really don't think that it's a good idea. I don't know. I don't think that the majority of the gamers who play a shitload of stuff like Modern Warfare 2
take
online.
this for example. I don't know if either of you have ever played it, but did you ever play America's Army, the recruiting murder simulator that they made?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I think I played the very first version and was like,
Well, later on, after it just was everybody's the same and you go shoot dudes. Later, they basically said, okay, if you show a proficiency for this, you can go to like sniper school. And only people that have gone to sniper school and prove that they can do these things can then be a sniper in the game.
oh,
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
if
you
did
can. I
something
mean,
like-
you can bullshit your way through leadership school to be a general.
I know, but
and
that's what I'm saying.
A
They
lot
need
of
to do
people are going to power
better than
I think-
that. Yeah, sure.
I think a lot of people are going to power game it wherever.
Maybe.
I don't
There's
mean
a
to
risk.
step all over
if they
your
even
point,
do it
but
like this.
There's a risk. I'm just saying. I mean, this is all rumor from the very beginning. I'm just speculating on something that would be interesting to take that genre into something other than just dudes getting a map and shoot each other.
yeah,
And you have a kill count at the end.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Like I said, a moving battlefront would be interesting.
Right.
As this group of
Yeah, that'd be pretty
800
cool.
people, maybe not all in the same game, but in this
Yeah.
same thing.
It'd be
have
cool.
pushed
I'd
into
never
this
play
idea.
it, but it'd be cool. It'd be cool to know it exists.
I think
And I
think
would
it-
ignore it.
I think I would try it out just because, and I think you could do an interesting mix of AI and player characters to to fill out your
Well, I honestly
fill
hope
out your
that
battalions. And
I hope
shit.
that one day when you hear the term MMO, it doesn't mean like this is going to cost you $15 a month.
Warcraft grind.
Well, I mean, just that. I mean, it's like, you've got a company that's big enough. Just put a game out. It takes minimal servers, no more servers than playing standard multiplayer takes.
Right.
And,
Um,
I know it's not going to happen, but
yeah.
Well, then you have to pay for
Keep
development
dreaming,
costs.
communist.
Yeah,
I'm a
development
socialist.
costs.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
It's a new buzzword.
Sorry. Socialist.
Isn't socialist the new N word though?
Neo-Nazi?
No, the other one, the worst one.
Nintendo?
Yes,
Nantucket.
Neo Geo. But
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be cool, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Well,
I'm just
that's
speaking
so
of-
far off.
speaking-
It's still
free
rumor.
MMOs.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of free MMOs,
free MMOs, the Torchlight MMO is going to be no cost, from what I understand.
yeah, but
Yeah,
again,
microtransactions.
I think that's going to really fall in the realm of it's going to be like Diablo 2, like where it's going to not be a quote unquote MMO. It's going to be an instanced like Guild Wars type of thing or
Yeah.
Diablo. I mean,
Well,
I hate that we like use these newer things to liken what things did 10 years ago.
Right.
But
Well,
I mean,
from
people
what-
know it as the Guild Wars system of MMO.
From what I've heard Max Schaefer say, courtesy of another podcast, it seems like they kind of want to do a little bit of Guild Wars, a little bit of Warcraft, and kind of mesh the two together a little bit, where some stuff is going to be instanced on a larger scale,
Right.
but it's going to be
Oh, no.
it's going to be no cost.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
there's
saying
your-
I don't want
there's your
that
dream,
game
socialist.
now. I want that game right now, but it's not what we typically think of as MMO these days. So
Right.
okay, here's one that's not on the rumor mill. And
What's
I
that?
don't know if you read this or not.
Crackdown 2. Oh.
NBA Jam.
What?
Do you want to know
Do
the
I?
bad news?
That it's coming to the Wii.
Yeah, we only.
We only.
What?
Yep.
What are they just porting the
NBA
old
Jam,
NBA
we
Jam
only-
arcade?
No, they're making new EA making a new NBA Jam altogether.
It's going to be
but-
bullshit because EA's making it.
All right, never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah, I hate to tell you.
Hard on that one. I was all excited when I read a headline.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah.
Bonesaw.
Oh, the fire is gone.
Yeah.
3 shots and out.
I don't know if he
Well.
uses Wii Motion Plus and the basketball motions that are in that.
No.
It could be awesome.
I mean, really, you only need 3 buttons to play
Yeah.
it. So, but still, I mean, why put it out only on the Y?
Because there's a shitload of Wiis out there, and they think that equals people that are going to buy more than just Wii Sports.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
well, there are a shitload of 360s and a
No, there
shitload
are-
of PS3s.
There are like so many sold Wiis that all they have are Wii Sports. My parents are
Yeah.
almost an example of that. They have Wii Sports and they have Wii Fit.
Yeah.
my
that
mom.
doesn't mean
my
those-
mom wants one now.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh yeah, I did the Wii boxing. It was fun, and I want to get one of those Wii scales."
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And like that's all. Like
She
I'm
wants
like,
she wants a Wii Ottoman.
yeah, it's not like I'm gonna be bringing not gonna like I'm gonna be bringing Mad World over for mom.
Or
to
House of the
play.
Dead Overkill.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
those
that won't be
people
happening.
don't actively buy video games.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not-
the problem.
That's the problem, is they see the number of Wii's sold, and they're like, well, it's developed for that. And then they don't realize that, like, 80% of those are people that have bought only the system and maybe the Wii Fit.
Yeah.
My problem with that being Wii only, it's by EA Sports Big, I believe, is the people that made
NBA Street.
NBA
yeah.
Street and all those, and EA Sports Big was also SSX games, and I am one of the biggest fans of the SSX games out there. I loved all of them.
Tricky.
No, there was
until,
a time when...
until I played the Wii one,
Oh.
which I hated.
Was it dog
It-
shit?
Well, it used the Wii controls in a way that just didn't work. And trying
You
to
have
do
to
tricks.
waggle the.
Because in the originals, it was the. I mostly played I played all the PS2 versions, and it was you would jump in the air and then you would hold different combinations of the shoulder buttons to do different tricks.
Right.
The Wii version, you'd get in the air and you'd have to draw a Z in the air to do a certain trick, or
This is the Zorro trick.
yeah, but you'd have to do stuff like that. Is you'd have to draw motions, and as we know with the Wii, a lot of the time, it just didn't register, and you weren't
Right.
sure if you didn't do it in time or if it just didn't work. And unfortunately, I see that as being where NBA Jam goes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Really, all they would have to do is port Tournament Edition,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'd be fine. Or if they would just port Tournament Edition, change the names,
well, if they
change the teams, and I'd
if
be
they
happy.
do it, they better damn well get the same announcer.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Bonesaw.
That because honestly, that's all that really matters to me is having that guy.
Yeah, he is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
But it
I mean-
still, it still has to be that you got to keep the physics the same to
Yeah,
really
they've
make.
already said that it's going to be like all the same crazy stuff.
Okay, that's good.
And all that. Which
Oh yeah, you don't have to worry
I'm
about
fine
with EA Big. I mean, that's the thing is like when EA Big first started, that was actually a symbol of like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
this- because like I mean, the first I think the first two NBA Streets were quite fun.
Oh yeah, I love
You get in the zone and
the first
everything,
NBA
and
Streets.
all that stuff. I mean, those were fun. I'm trying to remember what else they put. Were they? No, they didn't do Ready to Rumble. That was
No.
somebody else.
There were there was like a sled. I think Sled Storm was one of
Yeah.
them. There were certain ones like that, but I mean, it was NBA Street. There was FIFA Street. There was also an NFL Street.
Street soccer,
Yeah, well, I mean,
motherfucker.
but they had some.
They
had
were
some of
actually
their-
pretty fun.
Sweet.
They were surprisingly fun.
Yeah, they had something else that wasn't like a street line.
Yeah.
Something else.
And they have a base. Was there
I
a
don't
baseball
know.
game?
They might have been, probably.
Yeah, there was probably. I don't know, but
We
I
played
love
games.
those games, but
Was it Midway that did the original NBA Jam?
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who no longer exists.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, where is like in this age where they're going through and HDing up all the old titles? Like, just take NBA Jam, throw some HD graphics on it, update it to some current rosters, which I don't care about.
Yeah. Well,
But,
I mean, it's,
that's going to sell it to most people.
you know what they
Yeah.
need? They need NBA Jam Tournament All Star Edition.
Right. Oh, like an all-time thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
That's
I mean,
what they
apparently
need.
the Jordan license is open now, right? I mean, like, I don't think he lost his exclusivity thing.
No, I don't think it's that. It's
No?
just more. He wanted too much money to be in. it.
Oh.
Right.
Well, no,
Pretty
because
much,
for a while there
Michael
was,
Jordan needs money.
Well, no, they made it. No, they made a thing like he had a deal with Konami. That's why he was never in NBA Jam.
Really?
Because remember, Larry, Jordan versus Bird. That was
yeah.
like he
Oh, yeah.
signed that
That's
crazy
right.
like 20-year deal or something like that. I'll be the only one that's in your games. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, maybe, but
Yeah. And then
think
Shaq went and did the same thing. That's why he was not in the later versions of NBA
yeah,
Jam.
that's the problem with having. But the problem with having like Jordan in the game, everyone's going to pick Jordan.
Well, I mean,
If they want to win, everyone's going to pick Jordan
it depends. I mean,
because they're going to make him ridiculously
Sure.
overpowered.
maybe.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but we have had some pretty friggin' fantastic basketball players since Jordan.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I know,
some
but
really fantastic basketball players. I hate to say it because I'm.
I'm in total agreement, but
But I'm
it
just saying,
doesn't matter. It's perception.
It's like Tiger Woods on Tiger Woods Golf.
It's
Everybody wants
perception.
to play
People
Tiger
go
Woods.
in and they're like, he's not all 99s and everything.
Yeah.
This isn't right.
But I mean, the thing is with NBA Jam, it's like you'd find a team that had the All Star, and it was like, oh, they've got shitty other players, and I really can't win with just one guy, really. I
Yeah.
mean, because there's lots of
'Cause you
lots of
can't.
teams on there.
I mean-
and, one great guy and one who the fuck is that?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Earl Johnson,
Chris Corciani.
Bonesaw,
Bonesaw,
and Chris Webber is angry.
always.
Angry Warriors Chris Webber.
Yeah.
He's angry because
Way
he's on
back
the
when.
Warriors.
Yeah.
I
But
just hurt
anyway.
your feelings, didn't I?
Yes.
Your favorite team, the Golden State Warriors.
No, the Magic are my favorite team.
No, the Golden State Warriors are your favorite team.
NBA Jam, maybe.
Yeah, in NBA Jam, definitely you got to play Golden State.
Yeah.
At least Tournament Edition.
So anyway, okay, so that was
Yeah.
that was happy news turned very sad. Sorry.
Sorry,
to bring it
I
up.
sorry I rained on your parade.
No. I should have read all the way. All I needed was a headline like a no.
Yeah.
We'll call that NBA Sham.
I'll rent it maybe, and then we'll play it, and then
Yeah.
go.
Rent it from
Go
where?
play it again on my arcade machine.
We'll get to that later.
'Cause I really don't care about graphics.
Right.
Yeah. It's more fun. I don't know why, but it's a lot of fun to play that game standing at an arcade machine.
Oh yeah, I'm so
There's
glad
a big difference with than being on separate couches or even over
Right.
the internet.
One
That's
of-
the other thing about the Wii. It being on the Wii is
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to
How are
have
you
a
gonna
like,
play again?
yeah.
you got to trade all these goddamn codes.
Get your
Yeah,
credit card number code in
Your
there.
94-digit Wii friend code, which is still bullshit. They need to fix that. They really need to fix that.
Don't count on it.
No, they've never understood that.
No,
They never will.
Nintendo doesn't get it.
Nintendo, I think they just don't get online. Period. They don't.
Well, they
get
don't
how-
need to. Like, they're not selling to people that have
True.
fast internet or possibly internet at all.
Right.
Sad to say.
I mean,
Yeah,
but-
that's why like the Wii store is
Yeah.
Desolate.
Dumb.
Sad.
like I tried playing when I had the Wii hooked up and we were done playing Wii Sports Resort. I was just like, I'll play something. I'll play one of the games that's on there because I didn't feel like getting up and popping down the disc. So I played Mario 64. And it's like when you play a game on the 360 or whatever on arcade, they've updated it, they've put HD, they've
Right.
changed the menus to reflect the controls. There's nothing on that. Like you pop it up and the text is still, like 320 by 240 or whatever garbage resolution the Nintendo 64 ran at.
Jesus.
And it's like use the C buttons to move around, to move the camera.
Use the center stick.
Yeah, and I'm like, you guys couldn't even bother to like clean up the type. You couldn't even bother to change what the controls are to say, oh, move the right stick to move the camera. They couldn't even do that. They
It prints money.
yeah, yeah, but that's the Wii. It's like they just dumped everything on Wii Store, and I've never bought anything from WiiWare. World of Goo was the only thing that I would have bought, but it's on PC, so why would I? So
Yep.
yeah.
So
it's-
Wii gaming is dead. That's
you just hope when they do the HD Wii or whatever the hell it'll be next, that it'll actually have a decent internet connectivity and will have certain
would think,
setups
maybe.
that you need that to go online and actually be able to play a game against somebody instead of having to trade them your code and then have them enter your code before it can accept it. And
so.
All that
like
crap.
with that, do you have to? Is it like one and you're done? You only have to do it once, and then they're on your friends list
for
or whatever.
most games, except for like
Yeah.
Mario Kart, which
No.
has its own proprietary code.
yeah, that one has its own.
God.
Super Smash Brothers
Did anybody?
has its own. Yeah, it's crap. It's a monstrous pain in the ass. It really is. And the code for like your system to system, all that does basically is trade your Mii's back and forth. It doesn't even like you can't even or you can
can't
send
chat.
people a mail message.
But how would you chat? There's no interface
Yeah.
for chat.
It's just it's their internet. It's like it's really in the realm of do not bother.
Yeah.
We dog on the PS3's internet options,
But at least
quite
they-
frequently. But at
they
least
can
they're
work.
trying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and at least if you add one person on your dashboard or whatever that your XMB, they're going to be in your games.
Right.
You can pull them up and say, "Oh, let's play Little Big Planet."
Right.
God.
And then
But
at least,
you can't
then
even-
at least
you
you can
can't
bring
even
your
do
own
that on the
Bluetooth
Wii.
or something. At least you can
Yeah.
chat on there.
Yeah.
Take a
And
$10
I
Bluetooth.
guess you
can
can't- yeah, you
plug
can't-
in a USB headset
Yeah.
and you can talk.
You can't chat over Wii, can you?
there's
No, there's the
No voice chat.
I think the mic thing has a
The microphone
mic.
thing.
or the is it just a mic or is it a
Yeah.
eye?
No, it's a mic,
It's just a mic. Yeah, awesome.
and it came with. I want to say it came with Animal Planet,
Yeah,
What?
Animal Crossing,
or whatever.
Discovery Channel. It came with Discovery Channel.
Yeah, the animal
Yeah,
thing.
but yeah, no, it's like a mic that sits up on top of your television. So I'm sure that sounds
So
great.
Yeah, it picks up everything in the room.
Yeah.
So it sounds like this. Hey,
Hey,
over there.
hey, Tom Nook, you're an asshole.
So, dear
So-
Nintendo, you guys are fucking stupid. Fix your internet shit. It's already been said before,
Yeah.
but we're important, so
But
we're saying it
that's
again.
why we only hurts really bad because we're just not going to be able to play
Yeah.
unless somebody goes over to somebody's house and plays it.
yeah,
Now, there are some things that have been fun on the Wii, but
Oh,
a
of
few,
course.
a couple here and there.
Yeah.
but a lot of them
Well,
you can get somewhere else too.
You put out 300,000 games for a system in 4 years, and you're going
Yeah.
to get some good ones eventually.
They went back to that old NES philosophy. Just dump
Yeah.
enough games on it. Eventually, there's something that's decent.
Yeah.
Because
Well, yeah, I
really,
guess
if
it
you
worked
think
for the
about
NES, yeah.
the like 500 games or so there were on NES, and like
I think there were more than
Well,
500.
I'm just saying. I mean, like there's probably 30 that were actually quality. I mean, really, if you think about it,
But some of them had really cool box art.
yeah.
Oh, most of them had really
Yeah.
cool box art.
yeah. I love box art of that time period, except for the Master System. I
God.
love the Master System, but God,
They're
that
the worst
design,
box art of
That was
yeah.
a horrible,
graph paper with like
horrible
Yeah.
branding idea.
yeah. I
That's why nobody fucking bought the thing.
Well,
And
I had a soft spot for it. I thought it was kind of interesting.
it was interesting, but fugly.
Yeah, it was ugly.
God awful fugly.
The later ones didn't do that. They actually had full color art for some of the later
Yeah.
ones.
But it would
Man.
be just like a graph, and then it would be like a really poorly drawn spaceship flying over
Right.
it, and it'd be like space harrier.
Yeah.
Like, wait, no,
There's
this
a
is-
dude that
yeah.
flies around.
Yeah, like Altered Beast. That one was pretty bad too. It
Wait,
like
so
the,
that was
the dude.
Genesis. Well, they probably had a Master System port too. Because they did
I think
that,
it was on the Master System before the Genesis.
maybe.
Because I had the Altered Beast cart for Master System, and it was
Well, some like I said, some of those they went and like did a backwards port for some reason because a lot of people were still rocking the Master System when the Genesis came out. So it was like Sonic made its way onto the Master System, even
Wow.
though that was a Genesis game for sure. I can't
I've
imagine how
never
terrible
played
that was.
Altered
They
Beast.
they
was
actually
an
put
arcade,
that
though.
version out on the Wii store.
The Master System.
Yes, the Master System version
What?
of Sonic.
Why?
I think to trick people, so
Oh.
they end up buying it twice.
Oh, great.
Honestly,
No,
that's
they-
the only reason I can think of that you would put Sonic for Sega Master System out.
Yeah.
You know what they did is they had their warehouse of games, and they had one or two guys that were in charge of like, here, put this in this cart scanner, and put it up on the Wii store, and they're
Rip
like,
the ROM, throw it on
fuck
the Wii
it,
store.
whatever.
Yeah.
Kashika, kashika.
Is that the noise it makes?
Yeah.
Is that sucking the ROM right out of the cartridge?
Yes. It is a-
Sucking the
it's a-
money right
it's
out of
a-
the people's wallets.
Exactly. It's a money ROM
Yeah.
vacuum.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we sound angry right now. We're like, fuck the Wii.
We're pissed off at the Wii.
God damn.
We started with a little bit of love, like, hey, Wii Sports
Yeah.
Resort is fun. Bring your
It
girlfriend.
was fun, yeah.
Fuck the Wii. God. Yeah.
Well, when
NBA
somebody
Jam. Why did this have to happen?
Well,
somebody-
that's what did it.
Oh God.
Let's be honest.
No.
You fuck with our NBA Jam. That's what you get.
when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. And Nintendo has told us who they are, and that is
Assholes.
They
No.
don't like internet, but they like money.
right. That's they want
Yeah.
money.
All right.
All they want is money.
Hey, their philosophy
to
seems
believe-
to be working.
It's well,
It's working quite well
yeah,
for them.
The Wii has done wonders. Maybe, and this is like the hyper optimistic part of my cold black heart. It's very small, so this will be brief. Maybe they're doing this so that they can give us something better eventually. Maybe. Don't think so.
I'm not sure where you're going with that,
maybe.
but I'll go with it. Like, what do you mean? What's your...
Maybe
You have to suffer before you can truly enjoy.
Oh, is that what... Okay.
without
yin and
suffering,
yang type of
yeah,
thing.
without pain there is no
Right.
no joy.
Okay.
So they're doing this to build their money back up so they can do something awesome like the GameCube again.
Right.
Hey man, I loved the GameCube.
It could have been so much more.
I never owned one, I gotta say.
Really,
Yeah.
you missed out on the Star Wars games, the
That's what I hear. I did not, however, miss out on Pikmin.
Rogue Leader.
Pikmin.
Oh, Pikmin.
Yeah. No, I borrowed a friend's GameCube. I think I loaned him, I think, my Dreamcast or something. I don't know. We traded consoles for like 2 weeks. And I think I might have told you this before, but I literally woke up one day at the crack of noon, let's say, and put in Pikmin, started played all the way through the game, looked outside. It was dark. I'd been playing for about 13 hours and
Jesus Christ.
really only gotten up to the bathroom and maybe a drink or two. I hadn't eaten. And it was like,
Nice.
yeah. I
So
should
you were
probably
almost one of
stop.
those stories. weren't you?
Like the person that dies from...
Yes.
Yeah. Like 3 weeks later, they find a skeleton in
you
a
were-
chair.
I'm like, oh, bring in the red ones, only they can move me.
So I've never played Pikmin.
Yeah, well, different colored Pikmin do different things.
It was it kind of like an RTS type thing, or
It's like
that's
Brutal Legend
how I
with
heard it
flowers.
described.
Did you ever play Overlord?
No.
It's like that. It's exactly
It's
like
like
that.
Overlord with flowers.
Yeah, Overlord is basically Pikmin
Yeah.
with little demon guys.
So you kind of like you order your things around.
Yeah, you're not so much controlling it as you're like kind of like this overseer thing that can move objects, and it's a little bit like lemmings, but you have different colors.
It's like lemmings.
So they're
going to
kind of do what they want,
Right.
But
Well,
you have some limited control.
You
over
kind of
them.
like have to like set them up to go do something, but they'll be stupid and go kill themselves like the lemmings if you put them in the wrong
Okay.
place. It's like you don't want to put the red ones in the water or something like that, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But it sounds very strategy heavy.
It's like Fallout with flowers.
It's way fun though. I never played 2 because I was
So
afraid.
it has vats.
Vats of acid, maybe.
The very angry.
You can target the Pikmin's heads.
Very angry topiary system.
Yeah. But
All right.
if you want, same thing with newer graphics, play Overlord 1 or 2.
Okay.
Gotcha. So I think we're
Let's
getting
take a
to a
break.
break.
Yes.
Point.
Break.
We've worn ourselves out with our hatred.
Yeah. We'll come back and talk nice about something.
I need to talk about PC games, so then you can hate on that some more.
Oh no, I'm
Actually,
you're back to that.
we have one more thing to hate on when we get back.
Oh,
but
we
that
do.
will
That's a
lead
big
into
one.
something else.
yes. it
More
will.
hate.
Yes.
This
More
is the
hate.
hate cast.
More hate when we get back.
Yes.
Welcome to
Stay
Fuck
tuned.
You Podcast.
The more you know.
Nice. Welcome back. Second half.
Hey,
No Quarters, episode 3.
more no quarters.
The hate cast
The
continues.
Hatecast. Fuck things.
Yes.
Should I go ahead and start you off with some more hate by telling you what I'm about to buy?
What are you about to buy?
2 Human 2.
No, it doesn't exist.
It never will.
No.
Twilight on Blu-ray.
Let's just say I'm going to buy it tomorrow because something happens. We don't know, so I'm just going to say it. I'm going to play Star Trek Online.
Oh. Have fun with that.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah. So BJ, what have you been playing?
Let's see. More of the same actually, because you know how I do.
Really?
Yes, really.
Really.
No, okay. All right.
All right. Sorry.
Talk.
Not really.
Talk about Star
Go
Trek.
ahead. Do it.
I don't
Why?
have much to say. Why? Because it's Star Trek, and
Now-
I at least owe it a
Of course,
try.
I have noticed, like, you're willing to try out a lot of MMOs.
Yeah.
Because, you did WoW for a while. You did Conan when it first came
So, yeah,
out.
well, but see, I actually played. WoW's one of the few I actually played past like the free 30, 45 days, whatever.
Because everybody plays WoW for like 3 months at least. And
Yeah.
then they say, fuck this.
I
This
played
is
for about a
stupid.
year.
Did you play any more of that superhero online game?
Yeah, what was that?
No.
Champions Online?
Yeah.
Or what's the name of it?
And that's the thing that worries me about.
Because I
this.
remember you
It's-
tried to get me to play it, and then you kind of stopped talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just kind of gave up because without people to play with, it's not much
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, now that the rebirth of PC gaming has happened, there's
Has
a
it?
possibility that
Well, okay,
That's a couple weeks
that's the
ago.
thing that scares me is this is the same company that made Champions Online and Hero whatever, City of Heroes.
Okay.
So both of those were good. They're not great. They have a great starting system, and then they just falter because they kind of didn't know what to do with this. But I'm really hoping that the pre-existing universe of Star Trek lends itself much better to a continued, ongoing story. Plus, I think you're going to get a bigger fan base right off the bat because, as much as it turned out to be a terrible game with what they did with it, I enjoyed the crap out of playing Star Wars Galaxies when it first started.
Yeah.
I know they kind of completely got the game wrong.
Are you
Yeah.
going to be a gay Klingon hairdresser?
I probably am. But no, I mean, that started with such promise that they said, well, we're going to slowly introduce the things that you want, like Jedis and space combat and things like that. And then they continued to just make it terrible. But that being said, I had a lot of fun being, everyone was complaining like, I'm not Luke Skywalker, I'm not Han Solo, but I was fine with being Guy X in the Star Trek or Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's the thing
I was
about
like
it.
an artisan or something.
Yeah.
I was like one of the first people in the game that could make speeder bikes and that sort of
Right.
stuff. And I made a shit ton of money in that game just making speeder bikes.
Yeah.
But,
It's
but you don't
Go
want
ahead.
to make speeder bikes.
Right,
You wanted
yeah.
to be a Jedi, and that was the problem
Well,
with that game.
Yeah, but I mean, even the space world needs space ditch diggers, and that's one of the things about a role playing game that really annoys me. When you introduce the human social factor, is that everybody wants to be super ultra elite hyper sword
Right.
space champion man, and not everybody wants to be, like the guy who makes
And
the
I think
swords.
that's where I differ, because I mean, that's actually what I mapped out the perfect Star Trek MMO in my head years ago, and that's one of the biggest things I'm going to have to get over this
Prepare
hurdle,
for
that it's not
disappointment.
going to be what I want it to be, but I'm willing to give it a try. And I feel as my like 90% of my adult life has been spent around watching Star Trek things, that
Right.
I at least have to try this thing, because it's been years and years in the making.
Well, then it could work because that universe is more about exploration than combat, straight up.
And also, I mean, you being as big a Star Trek fan as you are, you kind of owe it at least a chance,
Exactly.
because you're a big man whore for Star Trek.
Same reason I played Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
And then
just
my
have to
subscription
try.
ran out, and I said no.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know if you ever tried to go back to it. It's absolutely, I don't know what they did to it. They made it unplayable. I mean, literally unplayable. I mean, on a newer computer than what I originally was playing on, it was choppy as hell. I was getting like 15
Really?
per second frame rates, and like it was like, what did you do to this?
Well, that's
You
'cause
just
they-
broke it.
That's because by the end of it, they knocked it down to like 2 servers probably, and it was all lag,
Yeah.
I bet.
Maybe. I mean, but and they also
trying to
simplified
push
it. I mean,
people
it was
out of the
literally
game.
like you could have played it with a controller. That's how simplified it was. It was like attack, not attack. Like
God,
I mean, it was
I
ridiculous.
had so many damn macros in
Yeah,
that game. It
exactly.
was ludicrous.
Yeah, it was not the same game by the time.
Make speeder
If it's-
bike.
Oh, I guess it's still going,
Yeah.
but it is atrocious now.
Mine this mineral. Mine that mineral.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do have to point out. I think the thing that put me over the edge of really wanting to play this is the Steam exclusives.
Oh
They're
yeah, those are
Steam
pretty.
exclusive?
Those are
Well,
pretty cool.
Yeah, like if you do the digital.
See, I know nothing about this.
Okay,
so-
well, you can buy it on Steam. It's going to, digital. And the reason I say this is the open beta starts tomorrow. At the time we're recording this.
yeah.
And you get access into
So
that by
last month.
pre-ordering. And then you get, some regular plain Steam exclusive things. But for buying the digital version, you get the original Star Trek uniform set you can choose from. So you can look
Okay.
like old school Spock and Kirk. You get an exclusive Khan emote. So you can just run around going, Khan!
You're not joking.
I'm not joking.
How much?
60.
How much is the game?
The deluxe one is $60.
Oh fuck.
I mean, the regular one's $50, but you
God,
don't
that's
get,
close to worth it.
you don't get these things. Plus, you get an exclusive Klingon blood wine toast emote. So I don't.
Now I'm 100%
Yeah.
sold. The fuck.
Throw in a
Now that you got that in there, damn.
throw in a bat left, and I'm on.
I'm sure there are bat lefts aplenty. Yeah, I mean, you can,
What?
That Klingon
the half moon sword thing they have.
swordy thing.
Oh. Okay.
The one that Worf goes to the bat left tournament. And
Who?
The guy with the
black
butt on
guy,
his
the
head,
black guy with the butt head.
the inverse butt head, looks like somebody sat on his forehead.
Eddie Murphy?
Yes. Yeah, my little Hercules. Hercules.
Oh, Hercules! Oh, Hercules!
So you're gonna play that.
I'm gonna play that.
Yeah.
And
Godspeed, sir.
yes.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I hope it's everything you want it to be.
Well,
Me too.
I was about to get into
so
it.
BJ, what have you been playing?
It's probably not going to be what I want it to be, because I think it would be more fun to, instead of joining a guild, you join a starship and you are just crewman X and you start your way.
You're going to be the only crewman.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think that would be the
It's
most.
gonna be like normal work for you. You're just gonna have to do everybody's job for them.
You're going to have to do all sorts of bullshit. And
I'm just saying.
'Cause
you're gonna
nobody
get-
else does
You're
it.
going to get paid very poorly.
I
for
think
your
that game would be
experience.
fun.
You'd be like level 90 and
I
making
think
like
leveling up should be gaining ranks. Like, you
a
go from
space
an ensign to a lieutenant on up.
you get like
know?
a space credit per month.
I want to be
You're
the
gonna be
Roger
level 90.
Wilco space janitor of
Yeah.
Star Trek Online. In fact, that I might sign up for the game immediately just so I can get Roger Wilco's name.
Okay.
And you maybe Harlow, maybe you can be
Yeah.
like the
Harlow can fix
replicator
the
repairman.
engines.
Yeah.
You'll be the replicator repairman.
He can fix the engines. I can fix the refrigerators.
There you go.
On the ship.
I want to play some Space Chicken.
No.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, space chicken.
And I'll get a job as like I'll be the mid-level guy who's always complaining about everything, like my normal job.
Yeah, that
Like,
works.
Not management, but
Nice.
So I'm
All right.
done.
then my
That's all I
boss-
had to say.
my
I
boss
thought
will
I'd get a
suck.
bigger reaction out of you.
You are excited about this.
it
Yeah.
does seem like it's gonna. I mean, I guess it'll probably be cool for
my
starters.
excitement-
I just hear MMO and I shut off. I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
My
I
excitement
can't
is
do it.
tapered by the fact that what the disappointment that came from Star Wars Galaxies. So I think I'm
Right.
coming in with this right mind frame of like, I'm excited, but weary at the same time.
Yeah.
Or leery.
Expect
I'm
time.
already
If it-
weary.
if
I'll
it-
be weary after I play it.
If it sucks, you won't be surprised.
I won't be surprised. And I won't feel that bad. I mean, it's like, I've bought other $60 games that were shit. Yeah, so.
Is it going to require
I bought
a
Assassin's
subscription
Creed.
fee?
Same price. Actually, more.
Is it going to require a subscription fee?
It will. But,
Yeah.
you get some time free.
Yeah,
Plus,
they always give you at
I'll
least a
probably,
month
I'll
free.
probably know because, I mean, I'm going to be in the beta for like 3 weeks and then,
Right.
so I'll
And-
actually get a month plus whatever.
And then
beta
it'll
time.
go out of business, and
Yeah.
you won't have to worry about it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, just cancel that order.
Is it sad when they announced that the Matrix Online was going down? I was like, I want to sign up.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to play Hellgate London, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
I played it.
Did you?
I didn't subscribe to it, but I played where I played the demo. I think.
Yeah.
Because I remember playing it and going, God, this game is shit.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hey, I'm new.
Well, didn't the Giant Bomb guys do that? They
That was
joined-
the other podcast. I think it was
Yeah.
Idle Thumbs.
Yeah,
They
I know.
joined Eve, not Eve, but
Well, EVE Online is just
I know
fucking
Giant
crazy.
Bomb joined the Matrix Online like in the final month.
Nice.
They signed up just so they could see what happens.
Yeah.
yeah,
That the
Which
Matrix
has gotta
actually just
be-
goes all white.
which has got to be a great social experiment.
Yeah, well, I've heard it's like it's whenever they end like that, it's very lame because like the last thing you see is just like a server disconnect
somebody-
message.
I'm
It's
trying to remember
basically like
what
connection lost.
I'm trying to
is how
remember
it
what
is.
game it was, but there was one I wrote out the final moments of. It was something that like basically I had bought it long ago, and they said it used to be a subscription thing, and they when they found out they were closing down, they were like, it's free now until we close.
Right.
So I was just like, load it back up, be there when it shuts down. It was just, and that's what it was. It was like,
bunch
hey
of
everybody, here
people
we
just
go,
hanging out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Service disconnected. Like,
Yeah.
And it was funny because it happened like 5 minutes later, something like that. Everybody's like counting down, like, oh no, bye everybody, see you in this game or whatever. And,
Just kidding.
yeah, and then like everybody's like, we're still here? Are we still connected?
Nice.
Yeah.
There was a back in ye olden AOL style days. There was a game that was on AOL. It's called Dragon Realms, a text based. It was way more than a MUD, and it's still running now. Dragon Realms, but they were moving over to web only because it was one of those things where you access it through AOL.
Yep.
Which is how they made their bazillions of dollars back in the day.
Yeah, because they charged you hourly.
Yeah, or by
be
the
on
hourly,
AOL.
prorated to the minute.
Neverwinter Nights. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yeah, and when they did the web migration, they had a huge, like everybody was there were all sorts of festivities, and I think they shut down for a couple months, and there were like 3,000 people, and this was like at peak times there were about 2,100 people online. And when they did the migration, there were like 3,000 people that were online and like, hey, blah, 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 doing all sorts of fun stuff. And there was another one that somebody talked about, and they were doing, it was pretty recent, something that failed miserably. But they logged in, and they were, it was like the last day they logged in, set up an account, and they're like, hey, I'm new here, so what's going on? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, the game's
Yeah.
closing.
Probably like Tabula Rasa or one of those.
I think it was Tabula Rasa,
Yeah.
now that you mention it.
Yeah.
So there, I got a shout out to my favorite MMO RPG.
Yeah, see, that's
Worked into
another reason I
podcasts.
don't like MMOs is because they can be gone. It's
Yeah.
you have to have the servers, and you have to have the people, or
Right.
you can't play.
But
the
I
game.
mean,
You
look
know.
at something. I mean, Star Trek's not going anywhere for a long time. I mean, Star Wars Galaxy is still up and going. As shitty as it is, there's still thousands of people that play that piece of shit.
Yeah.
I had a friend. I have a
You
friend
mean
that
hundreds of people.
No, I mean, I have a friend that still tries to talk me into them. I'm like, did you play at the beginning? He's like, yeah, man, I've been playing it all along. I'm like, so you spent like $400, $500, $600 on this game that's just turned to absolute dog shit? Did I ever tell my funny Star Wars Galaxy
No.
moment? I mean, I've told you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
the funniest thing that's probably ever happened in gaming, just by random happenstance, happened in Star Wars Galaxies. Because one of the things about that game when it was good is you had these gigantic vistas. I mean, it had an incredible draw distance compared to most games like that. So you'd be sitting out somewhere and you could just see somebody walking by, and they'd be a little speck, like 2 pixels running across their screen. And so we're sitting out. I think it was on Naboo or some lush planet, and it's like the sun's going down because they had a time system in it, and it's turning night, and we got
Yeah, and you'd have to camp.
Yeah, you'd have to make a
because
camp and
That
make
was
a-
how you'd
yeah.
rebuild your
your
energy
something,
or
yeah.
whatever.
But yeah, so we had a campfire going around. We're all kind of sitting around, like, talking, and we're like, what are we going to do next? And there's like 3 or 4 of us, and we were like, oh, let's just go kill some more random nature. And this guy just is running around the lake as far away as you could possibly see, but somehow he made his text just gigantic, and he just never breaks stride, and he goes, yeah, fuck nature! It just keeps on going. And never stopped, never said anything, just random dude running by. And it was amazing. Like, somehow he joined in he got just close enough for our spatial chat to take over.
And then I ruined that by building him a speeder bike.
Yeah. Yeah, then he was that asshole that went, bye. But anyway. Yeah.
Well, that is the great thing about MMOs and it's probably their redeeming quality, is that you can have some really fun, bizarre things happen in these worlds that are, that are completely separate from your actual gameplay.
Right. Mm-hmm. And those are the moments I live for these. I try to capture those, and not the, oh my god, I just got this badass piece of armor and that's going to make me kill all the noobs, and I don't get into that.
Yeah.
Like the game that I mentioned, Dragon Realms, it was swords and spells, sort of like a D&D type thing. Well, they were getting ready to revamp the entire magic system. So they kind of created a little in-game event where they took magic away from everyone. They basically shut down the magic system so that they could relaunch it in a month. And completely independent of the people who run the game, a cohort of players started this rumor that that everyone had displeased the gods of the land, and they all marched out to this temple, and a couple hundred people went out to the temple and were like praying to the gods and everything, and this huge player run event spawned because of an upgrade to the systems, which was pretty cool. And that's the thing that I really dig about MMOs, and why I still occasionally play that game to this day.
I'm a little too snarky sometimes to get into some of that, but I appreciate the fact that it can happen. Like, I joined an RPG or an RP guild in Warcraft one time just to see what it's all about. I mean, these people, these fuckers, like, when you had guild chat or party chat, say whatever you want, talk about, watching, reruns of Family Guy or whatever, it doesn't matter. But in game, you had to, like, speak in character. Like, you had to, like, pretend you were, like, an orc or whatever. And, like, I mean, they would go and, like, have their guild meetings in, like, the throne room of Thrall. So, like, all the NPC badass guys are standing around, and, they're marching around and, like, we're going to take it to the front and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm too snarky to get into that much of it, I mean, I'm just sitting back there. Like,
it's fun to watch, though.
Yeah, it is fun as hell to watch. I mean, it's like stumbling into a LARP session or something,
Yeah.
But
yeah, see, whenever I saw that, it would be like, they'd be doing for the horde, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden they'd be like, buy gold, go to my site, buy gold, buy gold,
Walls I has to gold.
Yeah, and then it was like LFG, trench run, whatever the hell it was. I couldn't even remember anymore.
Trench run.
Yeah.
I'm going in.
Yep. I can't shake him.
Stay on target.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, there's some fun stuff in them, but you know what? There's not $15 a month worth of fun for me.
It depends.
That's
Yeah.
the way I look at it.
Like I said, I find it hard to stick with one for very long these days, but I owe it to myself to try it.
And there's something to me about a game that never ends.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, after you beat like Fallout 3 and Oblivion, it's like you said it felt good to know that you didn't really have to put them in to get anything else anymore.
Right.
There's kind of like a feeling of, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
And if I put it in, it's completely on my terms now, and whatever, maybe I want to just go in and, shoot some dudes in vats with, super laser atomizer or whatever.
Right.
In Fallout 3, and then you can do that. And it's not like you feel like you have to catch up with anything.
Right.
Whereas MMOs, it feels like you're always trying to catch up with something.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't like about them.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm a step behind everyone else that's on the server.
Yeah. I finally gave up on that component, and pretty much just played on my own terms. If I wanted to level up, I was going to level up. If I wanted to like sit outside the guild and bullshit with people in character for 3 or 4 hours while, reading a book, quote unquote, in game, that's what I would do. I just played it. It was almost like it almost turned into a
Chat room.
kind of like a chat room, a social
little social network
thing, and an actual RPG instead of a
Yeah, I mean,
grind.
that's what kind of. I mean, I played Warcraft obsessively until I got to level 60 and blah blah blah, and bought the epic mount and all the things you're supposed to do that they make you think you got to do. And I hit that point, and it was like I stopped. I didn't let my subscription lapse, but I didn't play for like 3 or 4 months, and I ran into somebody, and they're like, yeah, you play Warcraft? I'm like, yeah, I got a character, and move servers or whatever you do, and to get into playing, and like something like clicked, and like when I went back in, it was like, I don't care, like, I mean, I'll go with you to run something, as long as you're not like could be a loot Nazi or you're doing it wrong, you gotta heal here, you're not doing enough DPS, blah blah blah, that kind of bullshit. But like I don't get into that, but like I just went in, kind of did my own thing, met some people to talk to. And
the most fun I had with WoW was when I realized that I was going to let my subscription just die. And then I just said, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I can to see every single zone. Yeah. And that was all I did was my guy was high enough. I wasn't 60 or anything, but I was high enough that I could run around most areas and not get instantly killed.
Right.
And
so this was like wanted to look at places.
Yeah. And that was all. And I did the same thing with Star Wars Galaxies. It was like, well, I haven't been to this planet yet. So, it was more fun for me to just land on a new planet and then wander around for a while. Yeah. And go, okay, this level's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, those are the things that I'm most looking forward to in Star Trek. I'm hoping that the universe is just absolutely expansive, and I could, like, if I set my mind to it, fly to the Delta Quadrant or something crazy, like,
right. And pray that the game isn't like Mass Effect.
Yeah, I mean, don't know, I don't even know how they're going to do the leveling system, if there is one. I don't know if it's going to be ranks or I don't know. I'll report back more.
All right.
Wow. Report back next No Quarters podcast.
Sorry, it's turned into crazy MMO. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, other games.
So,
at some point we were going to talk about what I had played, which is pretty much the same as what I played last week, but more. So I'll run down those real quick.
Okay.
Fallout 3, I finally got some more playtime with this weekend. I was house sitting, a.k.a. playing video games at someone's house while they weren't there for 3 days.
Nice.
And I don't know, I guess I put about 6 more hours into Fallout. And
is it growing on you yet?
It has. It definitely has. Like, I want to go home and play it now. But
okay. That's a good thing.
Uh-oh, it's hit.
Well,
you're lost.
The funny thing about that is I also want to go home and play Torchlight while I'm playing Fallout 3. And then I want to play Borderlands while I'm playing Fallout 3 and Torchlight.
Yo, dog.
Well,
you guys had a marathon Borderlands session this weekend.
Saturday we played for, I don't know, 8-10 hours.
That's a while.
It was fucking ridiculous. We played that game pretty much.
Well, we had
day.
our brief excursion to Walmart and Points Beyond.
Yeah,
which was, kids, if you haven't been to Walmart at 1-2 in the morning, you're just missing out.
Yeah, you haven't truly lived.
There is some fun to be
but Fallout, my impression of it is, everybody's made the Oblivion with guns joke, and it is fairly accurate, but it does things so much better than Oblivion. Like, everything that Oblivion failed at, I think
they fixed.
Accomplishes.
Just about.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, and I'm kind of a big fan of voice acting, and voiceovers in general, but they had like 4 guys doing the voices for Oblivion, but in Fallout 3, the voices are so many and so varied.
Right.
It really, really adds tons of depth.
You still run across that guy.
Well, yeah, you do.
Yeah, but there's a few that guys.
But that's because you can't.
That guy, I don't know his name, but the guy that does all the voices.
Well, doesn't he do the evil guy who offers you the quest?
I believe so. Yeah, so you hear him right away.
As soon as I saw him, I was like,
yeah,
Burke.
But it's still, he's like, he's there, but he's one of many.
He's in Dark Brotherhood mode.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Hello, citizen. Yeah. But, I understand that you can't do 10,000 entities' voices separately because you're limited.
Yeah.
But, they at least have, I don't know, I've probably run across 20 or 30 different voices. And the variety is really good. Like the Craterside Supply girl in Megaton, she has kind of a North Midwest. Yeah, Moira.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there. She's kind of like Minnesota.
Yeah, she's got like a Wisconsin, Minnesota, Dakota's accent, and
that's the voice actor that shows up somewhere else in the game. but not using that accent. So it's like,
Right.
so it works.
Right, and it does. It really makes things a lot more palatable. And also, the combat is still a little bit, I guess, clunky, but it's kind of more.
It's a market step up.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's all about the VATS.
Yeah, there's some things that I don't like, and like you told me, Mackie, it's VATS all the way. If you're not in VATS trying to kill dudes, and you're wasting your time because it's
unless you're a melee person.
It's kind of like we talked about with
feels boring.
It's kind of like we mentioned last week with Mass Effect, where you just don't get the feedback that you're hitting anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're never quite sure unless you're in VATS, and then you know you hit them. But
right. Unlike Borderlands, you know when you're hitting something in Borderlands.
Guys are screaming because you've shot them with an acid shotgun.
Right. So I guess I'll touch on Borderlands for a little bit. Harlow and I played, like I said, 8-9 hours worth of Borderlands, and I actually ended up with more gamer score points in it than Mackie, which is unheard of. Absolutely unheard of, with one exception, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Man, that game is awesome too. It's like Diablo with guns.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, and you
it is
guys
really.
did one of the larger Mad Moxie rounds.
Oh, did
the
we even talk about that
one.
last time? Did we talk about Mad Moxie's Underdome?
We kind of talked a bit about
briefly.
it in that Harlow had tried it solo and hadn't really.
Not meant to happen.
So we've all played
it's-
Underdome.
Yeah,
since-
it's kind of broken.
It is.
I don't like it.
For those of you who don't know, it's 3 arenas, and you go through 2 sets of these 3 arenas. The first set is 5 rounds
Of five waves.
5 waves apiece.
Not so
And
bad.
Not so bad, because you're playing 25 waves, and you can bust through that. And
So you
An
beat
hour or
all
two.
three
I don't know,
at
an hour?
75 waves. Yeah, it's an hour and a half somewhere in there.
but and
that's-
you can't save in
but-
between any of these.
But
That's
the
also
next-
with me.
But keep in
wasting
mind,
everything.
we did this. The way we had to do it was either it was you started it or I started it, and we're at level 20, 21.
Right, and
Harlow
Harlow's
was at
at
level 50. So he could kill everything.
Right.
You can imagine if all 3 of us died
Right,
and having to restart a wave, how long that could take.
right, or if all 3 of us are at the same level, then we're looking at just terrifying
Yeah,
amounts
just
of
punishment.
folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then the next set, the second set, which are doors 4, 5, and 6, it's 20 rounds
20 rounds of
5 waves apiece.
Really?
with more
Really, Gearbox?
with more weird things, more weird effects.
Yeah, more weird
Yeah.
bonuses and
shotguns
punishments.
only
yeah.
do something.
No shields,
everybody
vampire
runs
mode.
fast.
Yeah, at the end there are four different.
Yeah.
I'm
And
holding
you
up
guys,
5
you
numbers,
guys, you
but
guys got through one of them,
we got through one, and it was.
and then we keep trying to find a time when we all 3 can sit down and play, just
Yeah.
so
It's just so
we
we don't
only
have
have
to
to,
do 'em,
just so we can only have to do it once.
But it is
And-
brutal, and I think Gearbox made a huge mistake right there.
I think the hugest mistake they made is it doesn't save your progress.
Right.
You have to do it in one sitting.
And I understand that, if you're playing with other people,
Yeah.
that's kind of a problem. But they need to break it up.
Yeah, you
They
need
really
to be
need
able
to
to
break it
save
up.
at some point, because we tested it. We got into the second round or whatever, and then we're like, okay, let's just die and exit and see.
Right.
And then when we came back, it's like, nope, you're starting
Round
round
one.
one.
Yeah. Now,
And I was like, fuck you, we're not doing this.
Right. My big suggestion for it would be at the max 10 rounds, because that's a long damn time to play that. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, you might sit down with your buds and play, several hours of video games, but 10 hours of that one mode where nothing
It gets
really
boring.
changes. It gets
And you're looking at the same
retarded.
arena for that 2 hours or
Right.
3 hours or more.
I don't know. It took us
It was like
2.5,
it was
3
about
hours.
2 hours, and that's with me just
Yeah.
pretty much murdering everything almost immediately. And
So-
so I can't even imagine if we were all level 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever, same level.
Right.
God,
Yeah,
And it was just brutal. It needs to be no more than 10 rounds, and I think I would be okay with them ramping up the difficulty a good bit for that.
Yeah.
I don't double or whatever. I don't know what metric you want to use, but if they ramped up the difficulty a fair amount, I think I would be okay with it, because at least it's not as brutal as 20 rounds.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
oh god, the time.
Like just when you guys said that, I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to the game. There's that, and there's the bank. and that's it.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, if you
Which is kind of a
want to
shock after seeing Zombie Island of Dr. Ned, where it's a whole new area with new quests and new
voice acting,
and,
lots of new voice acting,
everything.
And
this is
a little bit of voice acting.
this is a new game
Yeah.
mode.
This just really like should have been. I mean, I think $10 when you compare it to Zombie Island is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't care what the. I mean, I know
It's not
we
even
were
price
talking
thing,
about.
really to me. But,
I know we were talking about some of the. They wanted to release the bank, but because of the
yeah,
They
Patch
wanted-
limits, they couldn't do it.
yeah,
Size
so
limits
they
on the
couldn't
patches.
they couldn't do it. But it's just it is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's not worth $10.
It's not a mode that's fun.
right.
That's the main thing. It's not.
Well, the first
fun.
3 are
It
fun.
feels more like a chore.
The first 3 are fun
Yeah.
because it takes you 45 minutes to run through them.
Mm-hmm.
But the second 3 are just heinous. I mean, I would rather pay $10 for the bank only.
would you feel less cheated? Really?
Yeah, I would, because
Okay.
at least they're being upfront, you know. With this, it's like, oh, hey, you get in this arena and you kill stuff. No, it's a fucking punishing 3 hours of the same fucking dudes and
Yeah.
everything getting hard to the point of unfunniness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, like I said, I think Zombie Island was one of the better add-ons I've ever gotten for any game, especially at the price point. I mean, it's pretty expansive and it's a good decent chunk of stuff to play. I mean, Shivering Isles for Oblivion is a lot of stuff, but I believe wasn't that like 15 or 20 bucks? I
It
mean,
was like $30 when it
was it
first came
30?
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a reason for that. I mean, that was a lot of time. And honestly, it wasn't that great, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really care for it that much, but you know, this for $10, Zombie Island is great.
Right.
You know, it does just what you want it to do. But this one, yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah. So we would, unless you want to bank or unless you have a lot of time to do this, and don't do it by yourself because
Yeah,
it's
just
ridiculous.
give it up.
You're
Not going to happen.
you're.
I mean, you
better
could,
off-
but you're going to spend a day.
It really
of
feels like
dying
it
and-
was designed for a team of 4 where everybody's a different class.
Yeah. I
And
think it
that-
would really take advantage of like a serious multi-class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you think you're up for it, and
Horde mode it is not.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's punishing stupid mode. But $10 for the bank.
yeah.
Get it for the bank because the bank
I mean,
is
you get a
really
new
cool.
set of vending machines too.
Yeah,
Woo.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
but they're not anything special.
Well, I know, but this is one more place you can check when you're looking for loot.
Yeah, the bank is really cool though because
Yeah.
you can store stuff for later, and that's always happening.
It's too bad you can't. They need like what Torchlight has. It would be nice if there was like a shared
stash?
Yeah, shared
Yeah.
stash. That's. I mean, Torchlight does so many things right.
Yeah.
It's not even funny.
And that's the other game that I've been playing, and man,
I mean,
You are
that
right.
just does everything right that kind of game needed.
everything that everything that you could want out of that
Yeah.
kind of action
I
RPG.
mean, short of like tell the dog go pick up everything that's on the ground. I mean, I mean,
Right.
like short of making a button like that, it's so simplified. And
Yeah.
walk over gold, picks it up.
Yeah.
Send your dog to sell shit.
Send
Shared
your dog
staff.
to go pick something up because
Yeah.
you can shift
yeah,
click.
yeah, you can do that. But I'm saying, like, the thing that would be better would be like a button that literally just goes and runs around and grabs everything that's on the screen.
Right. Or if you could like select all and just
Yeah,
put it in your inventory.
exactly.
But I really haven't found, for what it is,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found really a fault with Torchlight.
yeah, it's damn near perfect. For that
and,
kind of game.
I know that the story is
Yeah,
so totally unimportant.
Exactly.
But I think they knew that because they didn't waste a whole lot of time
Yeah.
with the story. I mean, there's some things that are, I guess if you want to read it, you can. There's some text, but like when they do the stuff with the main storyline quests, when
Yeah,
you
when,
talk
like,
to
when you hit a
people,
new point, yeah.
they're like, "Hello," and then they put the text on the screen so you can
Right.
read it or skip it. It doesn't matter. You just look for whatever you're supposed to look for.
I can't even remember. I can't tell you how many hours in the game is. I can't even remember the stuff you're looking for. Like, what's at the bottom of the mine? It's like
I don't know.
ether.
Well,
it's not ether, but yeah,
Ember is what they're
Ember,
mining there,
that's
but
what I
there's
see. I couldn't
something
remember that.
wrong with the Ember.
I know, but that's I've
Yeah.
played that many hours, and that's how little it means. I
Yeah.
couldn't even remember it was called Ember.
Go fix it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And then they've got that.
I can't tell you much about Diablo story, to be honest with you. I mean, it's like go here and you ultimately fight the Diablo.
The devil was like
Yeah, you
20
do
stories
fight Diablo.
underground.
I
at
know.
some
I know. At some
Yeah.
point, you want to stay around. Listen.
Stay a while. And they have that same. I don't know if it's the same guy that did the voiceovers for the in between chapters for Diablo or whatever you call
Oh,
them.
that guy,
Yeah, but it sounds like
Deckard King.
Deckard Kern.
yeah, it sounds like him when they do the text scroll when it's loading like the next level and it's like, You've gotten down into the dungeon and blah 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 ember and blah 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 wizard and blah 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 blah.
Oh, you mean the alchemist?
Yeah. Well, there may have been there actually are some wizards in the game.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm having such a blast with that game, and I'm
How's it running on the machine with your wine?
oh
Fine,
boy,
just fine.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Actually that's something that I was going to bring up is how much I love this game. I'm running, for those of you that give a shit, it's Ubuntu 9.10, running Wine 1.135 or whatever.
Numbers.
Yeah, numbers. And so it's running in Steam, in Wine, in Ubuntu, and it runs really well now that I've figured out how to get it going. But about every 2.5 hours it crashes. I just restart and start it right back up. No matter how many times, no matter how many times it crashes, I just start it right back up because I like it that much.
So are you trying to say PC gaming is not dead?
No, the rebirth of PC gaming happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep track. Jeez.
Yeah. Didn't you hear that?
No.
It was on the internet
Yeah.
after I posted it.
Right after you. Yeah.
So not only is it the age of dragons, it's the age of PC gaming.
Right. This is the rebirth of PC
The
gaming.
Renaissance,
Right.
if you will.
PC gaming renaissance. Now that I have a computer capable of playing
It's
PC
like
games.
it's like a computer renaissance, only without shitty prices for old piece of shit computers.
Oh God.
Nice.
Oh, thanks for
Yeah.
reminding me of that shithole.
So, speaking of shit, Harlow and I beat 2 Human.
What?
Motherfucker.
Oh wait, that was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was about 1,000 times more enthusiasm I needed.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The story behind 2 Human is I've had it. GameFly.
More like smashing Nazis. I mean,
GameFly.
huzzah, they're dead.
What?
I don't know what the hell he just said.
Space Nazis?
No. His exclamation was, more of like I've slain the beast.
Oh, like when I said what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a beast, and it is slain. But God, yeah, that game. Here's the deal. I got 2 Human through GameFly. Apparently, February of last year.
Holy shit.
Christ.
Yeah, it says on my GameFly queue. That's when I got it.
God.
And we played like the first couple worlds or whatever. There's 4 worlds or acts or however you want to put it. There's 4 of them. We beat the first 2. And then we're like, God, this game is not good. And so we stopped for a while because Harlow had a copy because he got it for like $2 in an auction. And so we played it. We stopped. We're like, God, that game's janky. It's not good. And then we came back like a few months later, and we beat another world. And we're like, God, this game's not good. Not good at all.
Were you getting anything else from GameFly?
Yeah, I had another.
Okay.
You have to have 2 games at least. So I was getting,
Okay. All right, good.
I was mailing back the other one, and it was like I kept 2 Human because it's like you get a lot of points for beating each world. And I was like, man, and it was one of those things where it's like we've come this far. We've got to just beat this terrible thing.
Yeah. And mine
And
wasn't
then
going
finally-
anywhere. It's a coaster.
Yeah, it's been used as a coaster for many a podcast. But so finally we sat down and I was like, listen, let's just do it. It'll probably take 2 hours, but it'll be over with. Because I think we actually played it because BJ was not online to play Borderlands.
And I don't
It was
own
a
Borderlands.
Yeah, to play Mad Moxies or whatever. So we're like, all right, let's just do this. And the last act of that game just brought into focus every single thing that's wrong with 2 Human.
Okay, so
It is the most broken game
Yeah.
we have ever played.
The box art is really fucking cool.
I stand by my statement that I think personally I feel that Assassin's Creed is one of the worst games of a modern console, and that's because it's a game that works. They just do everything wrong. It's a terrible story. You do the same shit over and over again. But the potential for that game, because the engine is amazing. I'm
Most
not gonna lie.
disappointing game.
It's the most disappointing game. That makes it my worst. 2 Human is the worst because it's fucking broken.
It's because it's a
It's
piece
like
of shit.
Terrible.
It's like nobody played it before they released
Yeah.
it because everything it does is wrong. The combat has like very little good feel. Sometimes it's the way you attack in that game is you use the right stick. Which if you played
Oh,
any
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you aim whichever direction you want your guy to attack. You
Yeah,
use
very
the right
Smash
stick to do
TV
it.
like.
Yeah, but the problem is it's
Do you
done
hit
like
a button or
no,
you
you move it. Like you aim it at a guy.
If you're there,
It's third person,
I would
I
just
assume,
point
right?
the right
Yeah.
stick towards you, and I would just go forward and start attacking you until
Yeah.
you were not there.
If you were close enough that he could swing. Otherwise, he'll just start swinging at thin air and won't do anything else.
Right.
And
God.
your reflex after playing so many other games is to try and move the camera.
Yeah.
And then your guy just starts swinging like an asshole. And,
Or mash a button.
yeah. And
I'm sure mashing a
what
button does
happened
something
in the
like
last
blow up your
levels
character.
is
I wouldn't put past them to put a suicide button in this game, really.
X or A is the suicide button.
My
Yeah.
copy's used, so maybe there was a cyanide tablet inside of it.
you never
Came
know where
with-
you got it
That's
from.
where I got it from the auction.
Came
Yeah.
with 13 feet of rope.
But the problem is
Special
the problem is
collections.
they have set everything so poorly in that game where your armor, your weapons, everything breaks like literally after 4 to 5 minutes of use.
Yep. Especially when everything kills you a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of deaths.
Are you like
that
the
I-
only guy with a sword in a world full of guns?
No, you have
it's not
guns.
that.
Everybody
You're
has a gun,
just
too.
Okay,
Swarmed
alright.
by guys who you have to hit them 20 times before they die.
And
You're surrounded by 20 of them who are all swarming you while there's people in the back shooting rockets at you that you can't aim at them because you can't control the camera.
Right. And you don't have an aiming reticule.
No.
No.
Well, you do, but
You
it's like a
kinda do.
lock-on thing. Like,
Yeah.
And it just sort of locks on with whatever's kind of in front of you. And it's not necessarily.
Yeah, it's bad. The control is among the worst in any game ever.
I have to say, this has to be probably the most deaths I've ever had in any game.
yeah.
ever.
There's one for like dying 100 times is one of the secret achievements.
Did
And
get
we
this?
we got that like
Okay.
on the second world.
I
think.
never even.
And the thing
I
is, you
cared so
die.
little to look at
You
the
die.
achievements for
It
this.
shows you a 45-second animation of a Valkyrie flying down, picking you up. Unskippable.
Yeah, Harlow told me about the
Unskippable.
I
the
think it's-
minute and a half.
I think
that
it
you
feels
died.
like a minute and a
No,
half.
no,
Is
it's
it
not that
45?
long.
Okay.
It's about 45. It's about 30 to 45 seconds. I'm not sure which.
I'm pretty sure
It was
I-
long enough that I went in the menus and came back, and the Valkyrie was coming back down because something had killed me again after I had respawned. Because the Valkyrie picks you up, and then you respawn right where you were, or close to it.
Usually.
Yeah.
It's- yeah.
So
Surrounded by dudes with rocket launchers.
Well, yeah, and we got to the final battle, and there were points where you would spawn the main bad lady, whatever, who kept saying the same 3 phrases over and over and over and over.
You would think
and over.
Odin's the only one that can do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kept saying the same 3 sayings, but she has some purple laser. My record was a second and a half
And she
that
hit
I
you with
died.
that
I showed
lock-on.
up. She locked on, had locked on to me before I'd even had control of my guy.
Right.
Hit me, died a second and a half later.
And here's the thing. Like, at this point, our armor is, completely gone. Like, we might as
Yeah,
well be running
everything's
around
broken.
naked. Like, sword's
Right.
broken.
Because it
armor-
turns
you know.
red, so my entire character is turned red.
Yeah, so basically
and I
we're-
went through my inventory and I had nothing that I could
Yeah.
put on my character because it's all like if you're a wizard and you pick up all the swords in a game, you can't use them.
right.
Yeah, it's like cybernetic and
Yeah, they do
technological or
that.
something like that.
So of course, all the loot that you get is for another character, and you can't
Right.
use any of it.
So broken loot system, broken
Yeah.
But
combat
no, here's
system.
what's better. So we're fighting this. We're in a boss battle.
Mm-hmm.
All of our shit is broken. We're basically naked, fighting hand to hand. We might as well be because everything is doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Does she at least have a cock you can punch?
you can't leave. Like the return to the place where you could repair shit would take us back to the beginning of that section.
Yeah, and we'd have to play through all of it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to fight through it and then be naked
yeah,
again.
and the problem is
Sweet.
while you're fighting her and she's killing you in a second and a half, it keeps spawning 20 dudes in this little arena. And this is my biggest pet peeve in any game. So developers, if this podcast actually gets listened to by people someday and somebody's going back and listening to all these,
Just play Too Human
anybody who
and don't do
develops
that.
games, don't do this, all right? Don't use the game engine against me to make the game harder. Because what they do is you have to shoot. You can't really hit her unless you're using your ranged weapon. But since you can't control the camera, you can't lock onto her. And the camera keeps swapping around so that you can never get a bead on her. And as soon as you do, she warps to the other side of the room. And then you've got 20 guys in your way, so you can't hit her. And then she hits you with a purple death beam.
BJ, you have no idea.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously.
they use the game engine against you, and it's.
You honestly can't
despise-
comprehend this game. How bad this game
I
is.
despise.
No, I
games
think I
that
can.
do
I think I
this.
can.
And this one,
No, I'm actually feeling the pain
Yeah.
right now.
There's another fun part of this.
which part is that?
And that would be-
I've started blocking it out of my.
And that
mind.
would be that in the number of times that we've died, there are guys that will A, set you on fire, or B, poison you. And the only way to cure those is
to
to
die.
die. So if you see yourself on fire, it is down to 20, 30 seconds before you will die. You just watch
have, like,
Your guy will just sit there going,
all the
Do you
way.
have like
you can have full
healing
health.
potions or something?
no, you don't have any of that.
I mean, to keep yourself alive.
no.
So you don't get healing potions. You're
Nope.
like whatever health you have.
There
is it.
are health pickups on the ground, but you can keep picking them
Okay.
up, but you will keep ticking down.
Right.
But
Well,
there's not
that's
that
what I
many.
meant. You could pick
There's
up some health to.
There's not that many. Like, I mean, there's
Yeah, they're very-
there's probably
they're
like
rare.
one potion to 30 guys you fight, or whatever they are, health orbs or something.
Trust me, the game it's complete crap. It is the single worst game I've ever played that I've beaten.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. I've probably played worse back in the Nintendo days or whatever, but flat out, like, this
Man.
game is terrible.
Yeah, I would say this is the most broken.
We
game
we
I've
both
ever
got we both
completed,
got
yeah.
575 points and no more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was not worth 575 points.
No.
See, I
worth
was
of pain.
For all those out in listener land, I was joking with Harlow and Mackie that I need to play this game because it's that bad, and it's not like our other podcast where we watch bad movies and we revel in them. Now that I've actually heard you guys discuss the faults, the
You
further
don't want
faults,
to do this.
I can't fathom playing this game.
And
without-
also, playing co-op shuts off all the story.
yeah.
It doesn't show any cutscenes, so
Yeah.
we have no context for what we're doing.
so there's probably
There's
the
no
story's
breadcrumbs.
probably
There's no
shitty.
compass. There's like, oh wait, did we go this way? Did we come from that way? Because it all kind of looks the same too. It's all this weird technological world with light up bridges and neon shit.
It probably
and
has
it's
a
like
bullshit map,
and then,
too.
and then you'll be running around for. That's the thing is like even when you're not dying, you're running around going, where are we supposed to go next? And all of a sudden you walk up to something and that didn't look like a door at all, and it goes, oh, or it's an elevator and you didn't know it, and it's just, yeah.
It's completely broken.
Yeah. So Silicon Knights.
This is the twilight of gaming.
And
Yeah,
it's
and-
only on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, and that's a Microsoft Game Studios thing. Like, I mean, seriously, I know Sony.
It feels like nobody QA'd it.
I know
Like, nobody
Sony doesn't.
played it before they
Sony
released
doesn't have a perfect track record. I mean, everything that says Sony and Computer Entertainment of America is not always good, but Microsoft generally has a polish at least to their games. Like if it comes up with their logo, it's Gears of War, it's Halo, it's
Yeah.
something that has some polish. And this is like, really? I mean, Forza. I mean, those things are like ultra polished games.
Yeah.
They
And
put
this
their name
is utterly broken.
Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
feels like an alpha build of a game.
Yeah, it feels like they said, we're not paying you anymore to make this. You've been making it
Yeah.
too long. Put it out.
Yeah. And it looks, I mean,
And
really
the thing
from
is, it doesn't even update. There's no title updates.
Yeah.
So there's no
This has been out
patches.
for like 2-3 years, and there's
It's
not a
like
single
the
update.
original version of the fucking game.
Gotcha. So they probably,
Disowned it, basically.
or, it got to the point where it was like,
Because that was supposed
Beta
to be a launch
build?
title, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't
No,
that one of the
no,
ones
no,
they were
no.
taunting? No.
Or, yeah, it was supposed to be originally.
Yeah,
and
but that's
then
what I'm saying. They're
switched-
like, too human. It's coming to the Xbox.
They switched engines and all sorts of bullshit.
well, that kind of tells you the tale of the tape. They probably got to the point where they'd spent X amount of dollars, and they're like, all right, you have
Yeah,
a
you're
month
done.
to get this ready.
yeah, you're cut off.
Yeah.
Well,
We're giving
people-
you enough money to operate
And-
for a month to get this game finished.
yeah.
If a game's not ready,
And-
don't release it. Just scrap it.
Well, if you spent
I don't care.
the crap load of money.
I don't care. They spent years making StarCraft Ghost. Where is it? Doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, but that's a completely different company.
I know.
that,
It's a company that cares about the quality of their shit.
Right.
Except for Warcraft on Super Nintendo or whatever it was. But
Yeah. But what happened? So,
StarCraft on Super
so I
64.
gladly sealed it up and shipped it off to GameFly the
Yeah.
next day.
You should have broken the disc in half and sent it back to
I
GameFly.
thought about it just to
Like put it
save anyone
in the
else.
envelope and then break it inside there.
Yeah.
So that it looks like the mailman manhandled
just to save it from anyone
Yeah.
else playing it. But so
We
I
should
shipped
probably-
it back, and to add insult to injury, I had 16 games in my GameFly queue.
it. Oh boy, duck and cover, folks.
It picked number 16 to send me, which was Transformers the game, which I only had
The
on
movie,
there.
the game?
Yeah, the movie, the game, because I had beaten it before, but I hadn't found all the Energon cubes or whatever, and I had thrown it in my queue and said, you know what, maybe one day if, I don't have any games left in the queue, it'll pop up and
Right.
I'll go find those last half dozen Energon cubes or whatever. Yeah, it picked number 16 on my list.
And now what I find extremely fascinating about this is you said above this was CSI, the video game.
CSI
God.
Hard Evidence.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was new stuff like Bayonetta and Darksiders and...
That CSI game looks like the
Okay,
shit.
But
let's,
there was
let's say
like-
you have 5 to 6 like
But there was like
new
CSI
titles.
Hard
Yeah.
Evidence, Killzone 2,
yeah. You had some
Terminator Salvation.
some reasonably old titles. I mean,
they skipped
Yeah.
Matt Hazard.
Yeah, they skipped Matt Hazard to go to this.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick, Dark Athena. Like, it skipped all of those to go to Transformers.
all of Mackey's I Just Want Gamer Score games.
Yeah, literally at the end of my queue, that's what it picked.
Wow.
So I'm canceling my GameFly.
Dear GameFly,
as soon as
fuck
I get
you.
the points. Yeah, as soon as I get the points in that.
To which GameFly says, "Thank you for the money for only giving you 2 human, motherfucker."
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You have bought this game 3 times over.
But that's the problem is, I mean, I guess it's good if you don't buy games very often, but
when they don't carry any games, like everything's out
yeah, when
wide.
everything is out. I mean,
Yeah.
even God, Lego Indiana Jones 2, that's out.
Well, hey,
It's-
sign up now. You'll get Mackey's copy of 2 Human if
Yeah.
you don't like life.
yeah, I mean, and it's everything is either high. Well, I mean, there's high, some mediums, a couple lows, but the lows are like the new releases.
Right.
So I don't understand it. And they said, oh, your closest shipping area is not available, so it's coming from somewhere else, so it might take a little longer.
Even better.
They've
So-
decided to totally and completely dick you over. And for
Pretty
that
much.
we are revolting on the internet.
Yeah, but so I'll be canceling GameFly very soon.
Go on to the GameFly message boards with your GameFly account and tell us about how you're boycotting
Yeah.
GameFly
With your account.
with your account. right?
Yeah,
Join me, I'm working on it. Fuck you.
yeah, but
I think that's a fantastic way to end the Hatecast.
yeah, no. To end the hate cast,
Okay.
we get to something good
Oh.
because to wash everything away, I started playing Batman: Arkham Asylum.
Woot. About goddamn time.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, just like thinking about that
I
game,
know.
give me like that cool, refreshing, like wheat beer on a hot summer
it really-
afternoon
yeah.
feeling.
I feel like I just had a beer at Coney Island.
Yeah, you both have beaten it. I am the only one who has not. Which BJ
Man.
beating a game before me is unheard of.
That's
but-
my achievement of 2009 is
Yeah.
beating Mackie to beating a game.
Yeah, that game. You go from 2 Human with no polish whatsoever to Batman, where
One of the most
99.9% of
polished
it is
titles of-
polished, and
That they had an entire team working on his cape.
Yeah.
yeah, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really, man.
Hey, we're the cape team. That's us.
Yeah,
Man, all the credit
mean-
to the folks that put that fucking cape together, because it really is.
It's like a leathery cape.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Thank God,
Yeah,
a fucking
that's-
video game.
and that is a game where everything in it is fun.
Yeah,
Everything you do in that game is fun.
Will. Yeah,
I think
know.
so.
Oh no, I'm just.
I mean,
saying.
I've heard complaints about the Bane fight.
No,
I had no problems with
my,
the Bane fight. The
my
Bane
complaint
fight
is
was
my
fun.
proximity to what happened. I told.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't gotten far enough apparently to get to where. I mean, I've basically done about 25% of the game. I'm
Yeah, I
at the
know.
point where you get into the mansion, I guess.
Okay.
And-
Arkham Manor.
Or yeah, whatever it is. I beat Bane. I beat. Yeah, that's like right after you beat Bane, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it's awesome. The Scarecrow section.
Did you
was
freak out
pretty cool.
when Scarecrow thing happened?
No, I kind of figured something like that was going to
Yeah.
happen, but it was still pretty cool.
It's still-
and then
it's
the
still
level that
freaking-
you play right after that is pretty
Yeah.
friggin' cool looking.
Well, minor spoilers aside, because I want to tell this story, is I was so happy. I mean, I was getting my goddamn Batman game. Took it home.
Oh Jesus.
Took it home. Played for about 20 minutes. Got to just after where the demo was. Mm-hmm. Well, more or less. I mean, the demo was kind of a
Skips
hodgepodge.
around a little
Yeah.
bit, but
You take
And-
out Zaz or whatever.
Yeah, just after that, I was just getting past that point, getting into the game, and it was my second Red Ring of Death. Click, dead.
mm-hmm.
Xbox dead. So luckily,
You're welcome.
yeah. So luckily,
Since
BJ.
I used to never play video games, now I only rarely play video
right.
games.
So BJ offered up his Xbox while mine went off to Texas to be repaired, and so I only had to wait like a day or whatever. He brought it the next day. So I started up, and I think you actually came over. You came over and were sitting on the couch watching me play, and you
Yes.
sort of passed out, fell asleep on the
oh,
couch.
I was tired as hell.
Yeah.
But
so
I had to watch me some Batmans.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there and I'm playing it, and I believe it's the second Scarecrow encounter.
I haven't made it that far yet.
Well,
I've only encountered the Scarecrow once.
I'm just gonna say it's one time you meet Scarecrow, something happens, and it for a second makes you feel like your console's locked up. Like the screen goes wonky and like your controller stops working, and it's like a disc read error kind of thing. And I literally like just about shat myself.
you thought you had killed BJ's
I mean, it's an
Xbox.
amazing effect in that game. But
Oh yeah, they nailed it.
they nailed it. But when you just like are 2 days out from a red ring and you're borrowing your friend's Xbox,
Right.
and you're like, oh, okay.
This game is just broken to
it's
Xbox.
just it's just broken my part here. Like my brain just.
I do
snapped a
enjoy
little.
that when you try and turn on detective mode when the Scarecrow is taking over, he laughs at you.
Oh, I never tried that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
See-
does he do? Like,
No, he kind of snickers at you.
Nice.
It's subtle. Like it's if there's a lot of noise going on, you don't necessarily notice it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets kind of quiet and you hit it, he just kind of snickers at you and laughs a little bit. Yep. Pretty
Nice.
much. Which
I never did that. That's
yeah. Well,
good-
see,
good for you for thinking of that.
That's my problem though. Is I'm obsessive compulsive about detective mode in that game.
Gotcha.
It's like I always have it on, and then I turn it off and I'm like, man, this game looks freaking amazing.
It does.
And then I screw that up by turning on the detective mode and everything's purple with outlines.
You'll probably start to get away from that as you get further
I've
into
been
the game.
trying to.
Because you get to the point where detective mode is almost like it almost kind of smooths out the curve for learning
Mm-hmm.
how the world works.
Yeah.
You'll begin to recognize things that you can mess with.
Use the blasting gel or whatever.
Yeah, use the blasting gel or throw your batarang at it.
Or even start to recognize some of the clues. I mean,
Yeah.
Other than
Yeah.
the invisible question marks you can't see without detective mode, but I mean, you start
Mm-hmm.
to. I mean, there were several times I'm walking, I'm like, "Hey, that looks like something of so and so's," and
Yeah.
I just go over and
Right.
click, detective mode, click. Oh,
Right.
told you, whatever.
And
yeah,
you-
so I just need to stop.
Yeah, and you'll
using it.
you'll probably get to the point where like you'll walk in a room, hit detective mode, and then
Shut it off.
shut it off because you know where to find something.
Where the enemies are
Yeah.
and all that. So.
So it you'll use it less and less and less and less. There is one disappointing thing about the game, and I may have talked about it with you guys before, but I'll wait until you finish the game. There's one thing that I have that bothers me, but
What, that it ends? That you can't keep playing
Well, here,
Batman?
I'm hoping that
Well-
they're already working on the sequel.
Yeah.
They've announced.
Yeah,
and
there's
shown a
been a
trailer,
trailer.
quick, teaser thing. What I'm hoping is that they change detective mode so that it looks just like the regular thing. It just highlights shit in the
Yes.
regular game engine.
That's what
yeah,
I want.
Mackie and I were actually talking about that when
Yeah.
we were supposed to be working at work.
yeah, more
over
like a strictly like a heads up display type of thing, not a infrared.
What I suggested was like almost like a bat sonar detective mode where it just shoots out a ring, like a ring of blue light or something in your display, and then highlights those things that would normally be highlighted by
nice, yeah.
detective mode for
Yeah,
like
sonar.
3 or 4 seconds. Yeah, and it works with the bat thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just said something that drains quicker. Kind of almost like the flashlight works in Shadow Complex. Where,
like
you have to turn it off after a while and let
yeah.
it recharge. That sort of thing.
Turn it on and
just
it goes,
Yeah, but I
yeah,
mean-
because I just find myself leaving it on all the time.
Yeah, but in Shadow Complex, there's not much harm in doing that. It refills
Yeah.
so fast, but yeah, I know.
But
But
I
it does
mean,
make you at least turn it
some
off.
system like that
Yeah.
where it's like there's some penalty for leaving it on all the time, other than you don't get
Yeah.
to see the cool visuals that these guys spent so much time.
yeah,
Make
or
it.
there's something that just prevents you from using it. I as you
Yeah.
can tell, I'm partial to my idea.
Yeah, I really like the use of green lighting in that game.
Yeah,
When you go outside, there's just like this green color about everything.
Yeah.
It
Kinda-
just gives it a very cool feel, and it gives it a very distinct feel.
yeah, it makes it feel like the whole area is kind of sick.
Yeah. It's just that is an awesome game.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get home and play more of it and beat it.
I'd say that's number 3 on my goatee list.
Goons and party hats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a solid place to be on. I mean, number 3, not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
it
those
was-
are Uncharted. And,
Yeah. I mean, after
Borderlands.
Uncharted and Borderlands, like I said, Uncharted is probably the most polished game I've ever played.
Arkham Asylum.
Batman's right up there, though. I mean, it's a damn polished game.
That's the fastest I've ever beaten a game.
Yeah.
Because it was. Had you gotten your Xbox back when you went on vacation?
I don't know. I'm not sure if mine was back at that point or not.
I'm not. I think it came like maybe the day after you got back.
Sure.
But so I house sat for Harlow shortly after he got Batman Alcoholics Anonymous, and the entire weekend. Well, not the entire weekend, but most of the weekend was spent playing that game. And I think I started on Saturday and beat it Sunday evening, and that's the quickest I've ever beaten a game because it
That's
was
pretty fast.
And I
you
played the shit out of that game.
you get sucked into playing it because you get to a certain, every time you think you're at a stopping point, something cool happens.
Yeah,
Kinda.
and there aren't. I mean, you pretty much. I think you can't. You just save any time.
Pretty much. It auto saves.
For the most part, it
it'll
auto saves, and
most of the part. If you've entered a new room or whatever, it'll.
Yeah. I think that's what you had to hit like a new little section, but they were so close.
It was pretty much if it showed the little bats flying and then just said the name of the section.
Yeah.
That was generally where it was going to respawn you after saving and coming back.
And
I do like that the bad guys taunt you after you lose.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
That is really neat.
I just, as a comic book nerd joke, when you said Batman, Alcoholics Anonymous, I just thought it was kind of funny since he's the analog in the DC world for Iron Man. Yeah.
But
sorry, comic book nerd joke alert.
But yeah, that game is just.
That game would have made a freaking awesome movie. You know, in the old Batman mythos before everything got all super realistic with the new ones.
Yeah, I think
that would have been so much a fun movie.
Maybe like a actually Tim Burton era Batman. Mm-hmm. I think that would have been kind of fantastic.
Yeah. And they used that Batmobile. It's almost like identical to that one. So, because I mean, if you're going to pick a Batmobile, that's the one to pick.
It is.
I think it's actually the one out of the animated. Pretty close to it, right?
But the one in the animated,
that's true.
It looked just like the one from the
one in the animated series and the
it was
Tim Burton Batman. They look very
close,
similar.
Yeah. Actually, now I think about it, the one in the animated one was a little plainer, longer.
And using I've never seen the animated series, but I've been told that most of the voices are the same.
Yeah, they are.
The voice work is fantastic.
Oh, it is.
It
is.
I've
just
watched the
killer.
entire animated series. It's so good.
No, apparently Mark Hamill did a slightly different voice for the Joker.
Yeah, he
for
changed
this.
it up a little bit. It was a little more whimsical in the animated one, and this is a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it is.
And I like
the Joker's.
I like that the Riddler isn't just like another Joker. I think they did the Riddler right in this one. Where he's,
you mean they understood it unlike that guy?
Unlike Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
he just basically did the Joker.
Right.
Again.
Edward P. Nigma.
Yeah. No, he's very cool because he's not jokey. It's all about I'm smarter than you and here's why type stuff.
And it's really. You have like everybody that's played the game knows, but you know you have the little Riddler clues and you have to find crap all over the place. But it helps you out. It's not just a pure collection quest. It allows you to upgrade your bat goodies.
Yeah, it's mostly about story. I mean, there's minor upgrades you get. But it's
the upgrades
it gives you
the
points to get the upgrades.
Gives you the points, and those are very helpful.
Yeah.
Because
basically you couldn't upgrade all the way without doing all those.
Right.
Because just fighting guys isn't going to cut it.
Right.
Because they're able to combo every single hit you hit on them, maybe.
Right.
But
and there are a limited number of guys, which is slightly disappointing. I kind of wish there had been more guys to bash.
Yeah.
more henchmen, you mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever? Yeah.
More guys to kill, because you fucking kill those guys.
No. Batman does not kill people.
Nobody could survive that. I'm just saying, 33 beats per minute or not.
Yeah.
You know, nobody could survive the extreme bat beating.
Yeah, some of those hits he puts are just, they look so painful.
He's pulling back.
It's just
Hollywood punching.
That's what's great is
not when like the whole room rumbles.
Yeah. But it is fun to fight in that game, even when you're losing. It's still fun.
Oh yeah.
And that's and the fact that you can lose very quickly if you're not doing things right.
Yeah.
Is very cool.
When it makes you feel like a badass when you're doing it. Because, you know, you're playing fucking Batman and you sure as hell know how to fucking fight if you're Batman.
Feel like a badass, but you still feel vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely. And if I lose or get beaten to almost death, I don't feel like, God damn this fucking game. I feel like, God damn it, I didn't do that right.
Yeah.
You know, I don't blame the game.
Like you said, you're not fighting the engine, you're just trying to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and I love that when you're sneaking around on the gargoyles, which apparently there's gargoyles everywhere in there.
Everywhere.
But when you grab one guy and hang him up, and then the other ones come by, and
like, oh my god!
I like that they start freaking out. You know? And I like that they joke about the stuff in the game. You know, it's like, oh, put on this collar; it's for your safety. You know?
Right.
You know, they I don't know. It's like they talk to each other, kind of like more than the generic. You know, the generic scripted, here, this guy's talking to this guy type stuff. It's just...
Yeah. And that's actually one of the few games where some of the achievements are actually really fun to go after. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, the scare the guy that's completely freaked out, like, pop up out of nowhere in front of somebody that's completely freaked out.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Pop up out of a grate.
Yeah, like, once they have their panic level, it's like, you know, I think it goes to red, like, terror. Like, there's absolute sheer terror, and if you pop up
You
out
can
of a grate...
you can rile these guys up like
You
like
can just
throwing
keep, like,
batarangs
ding,
at people
ding, and they're like, what,
and hiding.
It is,
And they
God, that game's
get
fun.
freaked out and they act like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll start hunting
They'll
you
just
down
start
in
shooting the
packs.
walls. They're like, where is he? You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I never really noticed it, but the AI is really pretty damn good
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah, they'll start grouping together. They won't.
Yeah.
They won't break off to be lone wolves hunting around. you
Right.
know.
And, like, if you're fighting them, they'll kind of, like, circle around you. And, you know, like in a lot of movies, there's, like, one guy at a time coming at you. But they actually attack you, like, 3 or 4 people will be trying to attack you at once, which is pretty cool. It kind of sidesteps the foible where they could have just one guy or everybody pouncing on you at once.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that game's awesome.
Fucking Batman!
Let's take a break and then give some value picks, huh?
We're taking
Okay.
a break?
Yeah, we'll take another break. We
Really?
still got value picks to give.
Let's just do it.
Dude, we've been talking for a long time.
All right. Break.
My mouth's tired.
And I want you to have to search for another music piece
Oh,
just
thanks.
to mess you up.
Hey, I downloaded torrents from those people. I've got like 5,000 files
Nice.
from that place. So
Is that like the podcast? freeze?
lcremix.org.
Yeah.
Woot.
Awesome.
We'll be back.
All right. Podcast! Batman.
Two Human had a massive development budget of $80 million
Holy
that was
shit.
funded by Microsoft. That's why it was released.
Yep.
Yeah. How much did it make?
Release an alpha build. Good job.
They don't really say.
$4.
I'm sure you can find it.
It made more than that just from Mackey's GameFly.
Yeah.
That's right.
It made $2 right here, baby.
Yeah. Actually, it cost them money probably for that.
Oh,
How
true.
could it even have a 65 out of 100 on Metacritic?
I
How it
don't-
has a score over 20 is fucking beyond me.
I have no idea.
Probably because, you know, places like GameSpot or IGN.com where they
Got paid.
where they demand like the whole giant bomb thing.
Yeah. Kane and Lynch.
Yeah, Kane and Lynch.
Jesus fuck. All right, so we
Which
got
wasn't as bad as he made it out to be, but it still wasn't good. It didn't deserve more praise than he gave. He was honest about it.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
what I think
his
is the-
review was just. Did you ever watch that video review
Yeah.
before it was taken down? It was very bitter sounding. Like he just sounded fucking angry the whole time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was going on there, but there was more to it.
I'm sure there was, but
But
you know,
yeah, just the tone of it was very strange.
Hmm.
Because normally they got the jokey, this
it's
but
possible that
he just sounded pissed.
yeah.
During that whole.
And it's possible that they were giving him pressure to give it a good score before he did the review.
And
he was
knowing
like,
him, he probably said, "Fuck them."
yeah, he's like, "Fuck you," and I'm mad at this game, so I'm going to give it my angry, honest opinion.
Yeah. Well, as shitty as the show has become, I've got to say my favorite, like, trash a game but still make it fun is Adam Sessler back in the day. Like, I mean, that show actually has
that
become
guy.
terrible.
Adams, who?
Sessler, the spiky haired dude with Morgan Webb on G4.
Oh, I don't.
The guy
know.
that's always high on
G4.
coke.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
But I
watch
mean,
that
like
show.
back in the day before it turned absolutely shitty, I mean, he could just rip apart a game and it was really funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember what it was. There was one where it was like some shitty game, and just like every single time it was like, so you get to do this mundane thing in space. Like after,
Yeah.
just every single thing.
Kind of like and a lot of people I guess think it's played out at this point, but no punctuation.
I still don't think that's hilarious.
You don't think it's
No,
hilarious?
I still do zero
yeah.
zero
Yeah.
punctuation.
Zero punctuation. Yeah. But
I find I like my games less after watching his reviews of them
Because it's usually
because he points out the shit that you
Yeah.
overlooked.
that's why
You know that you were willing to forgive. You know, like the gun sticking out of the floor after you kill a dude in Batman Arkham Asylum. I
Yeah.
could see him like harping on that.
Yeah, actually, I think he may have, but I don't.
Yeah, but I
still
could see
don't
him
remember.
pointing that out
Yeah.
and being just like acting like you see it every time you take dudes out.
Right.
You know, something to that effect.
Yeah.
But he actually did like Arkham Asylum, but he still ripped on some things about it. But I mean, that's cool. I can get over that. If it's a game that I have either played and liked, and he rips it apart, I don't care because I like it anyway. But if it's something that I haven't played and he rips it apart, I guess I pay attention to the stuff that he liked about it and can still kind of form my own opinion, I guess, or
Right.
whatever.
So are we recording?
We are, but
It is
Yeah, we're
being
just going.
recorded.
we're just
but-
going. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we haven't really officially started.
Right.
Okay.
We can. I don't care.
You did say we've already started.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're talking
we
about
back?
video game reviewers.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sure. Hi.
Yeah,
We're
hey.
back.
Hey, so welcome back.
So that
Yeah.
faded in somewhere along the way there.
Yeah,
Of a
it was.
rant.
Yeah, some sort of a
More
micro
anger.
rant. Yeah.
More
anger.
hate.
More
Hey,
Hatecast.
I was being kind of positive.
So
Yeah, well, we got some definite positives coming up here.
Yeah.
sure do.
Value game picks.
Uh-oh.
Value game
Stuff
picks.
we like, and you don't have to pay much money to get it.
Stuff that mostly kicks ass and is cheap.
Yeah.
So I want to segue there. Speaking of kicking ass,
Speaking of kicking ass,
my recommendation, Conan.
Oh, yeah?
Conan.
$20 at GameStop right now.
I noticed it on your table.
It is on my table. I bought it,
You got another. That was another auction purchase.
No,
wasn't it?
that was day of release. I could not wait for that game.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
is
realize
it-
that.
Oh yeah.
Is it
Now
ass
it-
kicking?
Is it? It's a God of War type thing, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
But there are two choices, both at $20. There is that, and also Viking Battle for Asgard. They're both fun. They're
Pretty much
complete
the same
God
game.
of War ripoffs without so much in the way of superpowers. I mean, it's strictly like grab different swords and
Ass
lop,
kicking.
lop dudes' arms off and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
I would put Conan higher on that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it's got more polish, and it's fun as hell to be Conan because it's way more brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like actually an achievement for taking and impaling a certain number of dudes on spikes.
Sweet.
So
Nice.
So it's not Conan called Conqueror. It's Conan.
no, it
Conan.
is Conan rated R, hard R.
R for ripping dudes apart.
Yeah, it's if you like the good old hack and slash, fun button mashing fun. Pull some sweet combos, God of War type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Rated M for massacre.
Now, Viking, my biggest complaint about that, and why I won't recommend that, I have a love and a hate for it at the same time, is that it has odd achievement numbers. Like, I don't like things that don't have a multiple of 5 in their achievements.
Love Vikings, hate strange.
And I
achievement
only say
numbers.
that because I blame originally Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 for giving me an odd number and achievements that I was never going to happen. Just that game is fucking impossible to play.
So you either had to find a game with
I either had to power through that, or I happened to just randomly hit 337 in Viking, and it was like, ding, you have a magical level, multiple of 5, and I was like, never playing this game ever again. It's a weird pet peeve of mine that I want a 5 or a 0 at the end of my gamer score. I don't care about the gamer score, but
right.
it's a weird anal retentive
A little
thing.
bit of your OCD-ness.
It is. I have few things, like my DVDs are alphabetical, and I like even numbers on my gamer score.
Puzzle Fighter HD messed mine up, and I've never gotten it fixed. Because
I don't think I've ever gotten a single point in that. I'm terrible at that game.
yeah, well, the problem is now, in order to get it back to even, I have to play a certain number of online matches and win. So,
Good luck with
to
that.
all like one of you that has Puzzle Fighter HD out there,
Is that an arcade?
play with me.
Will I
Yeah.
get no
Is that an arcade
points
game?
for that if I lose?
I don't know. I'd,
'Cause
I'd
I'll
have
play.
to look. I'd have to
Play
look,
an online match. 3
Yeah.
points.
Lose. Oh.
No.
I will look through the achievements
I
as
know
long
D-
as I get none
I know you panicked with DJ Hero because there's like a 1 point achievement the
For
first time
just
you
a
beat a
second.
song,
for just a second.
but then
yeah.
you have to beat one on hard and you get 4 points. But
Yeah.
still,
For just a
That one's
second.
that
mine
one's a
was
fuck
odd.
you, Harlow.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
They know.
yeah.
Mackie, value game?
Another Wii game. You actually name dropped it earlier, but House of the Dead Overkill.
Ah, yes.
I think it's like 11,
Hot D.
$12 on Amazon right now, and God,
Oh,
that-
yes.
it,
Speaking of hard M,
if you've ever listened to our other podcast, Bad Movie Fiends, and you know the kind of movies we love, imagine that in video game form, and that's what House of the Dead Overkill
it's
is.
a grindhouse 70s blaxploitation feeling.
Yeah.
It's extremely tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah,
and
the
very
cutscenes
graphic.
basically play like movie trailers for
Yeah.
all these crappy movies starring, the same Agent G and
Yeah.
I forget what the other guy's name is, but They just
Samuel L.
do stuff
Jackson
like
and others.
Yeah, but they just, the voiceover will just be like, mess with him and he'll rip your balls off. And then the guy's like, I'm going to rip your balls off. Just
Yeah. It's
crazy.
so good.
But
Even the songs. I mean, the songs in it are
Oh,
amazing.
the songs.
I've only watched this game and I love it.
Krakow says,
And it's,
I want to suck that game's dick.
Yeah.
If this game had a dick, I would suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rail shooter. It's a light gun game, but that works on the Wii.
It does work really well.
As long as you calibrate it and you're kind of both sitting at a couch facing the TV directly.
Yeah, as long as you're not lazed out on the couch to the side of the TV.
Yeah, the couch to the side had a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I will say that holding the Wiimote properly hurts a little. I would say if you're going to buy this cheap-ass game, go buy a cheap-ass $10 gun holder. I know it's just a piece of plastic, but you will thank yourself in the long run because you got to...
Yeah,
you got to basically like you're holding. Think of like holding a TV remote at the TV for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
With your arm kind of cocked in that weird way.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot more natural for
it's a little bit like the tennis,
our podcast.
Wii tennis elbow.
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
That game is so much fun.
So for $20, you can blast things to death. It's
friggin' $12.
well, yeah, well,
I'm
$12
saying go buy
plus
a plastic
the
gun.
plus
Oh,
the
okay,
plastic
plastic
accessory.
gun,
Yeah, just
You
go
can,
buy it.
you can go to CVS and get the
Yeah, I mean, you can use the Link's crossbow if you want a free game with it, but that thing's
Sure.
janky. I'd rather have a little 45 plastic thing.
right.
Yeah, there's some cheap nice ones out there. But that game, way too much fun. But yeah, don't play it with grandma because grandma will
No.
probably get offended.
Probably.
Yeah.
Your 8-year-old, however, will think you are the coolest.
Yes.
You are the coolest human being who has ever walked the earth.
Play it with your
I like
8-year-old.
shooting motherfucking zombies.
Yeah,
Oh boy, horrors.
yeah, it's fun. It's way too much fun.
Yeah. Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's what you got, BJ.
Speaking of undead things, I'm gonna go with the Left 4 Dead Game of the Year edition, which
numero uno.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 1 Game of the Year edition because it really isn't. I don't think it's played out. I know Left 4 Dead 2 has come out, but having played both personally, I'm kind of partial to the original because it doesn't feel as punishing to me.
That's a good point. I can play
yeah,
through the first
and the
one
Game of
by
the Year,
myself.
Yeah.
Game of the Year edition has the extra campaign.
Yeah,
which
the
is a little
Crash
bit
Course
shorter. Yeah,
DLC.
Crash Course. It's a little bit shorter than the normal ones. It's only like 2 kind of long levels.
Yeah.
As opposed to 5 decent sized levels.
Right.
But
it one of the things that I know they intended with the Crash Course was to actually make a shorter campaign so that you could just pop it in with your buddies and blast through it real quick and have a good time with that level. So
Yeah, I got to say,
it's reasonably cheap.
I kind of like the characters from the first one better too.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bill
I
is
agree.
just awesome, and Francis. I mean, the
Bill's
dialogue
here.
between Francis and Bill. I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said,
Come here, Zoe. Let me pat you up.
I don't think Left 4 Dead is as punishing as Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
While I like some of the things they did with Left 4 Dead 2, I especially think the special infected are just the new ones are just way too fucking much.
Yeah. And there's a lot more of them too. It seems
Yeah,
like.
there's a shitload of them, and they're specifically designed to punish the shit out of you and to make the game painful.
Yeah, like I said,
And I'm not cool with that.
The spitter guys in the multi-level mall. That's just rough.
Oh, the smokers.
Yeah, smokers, not spitters. Yeah, spitters are another thing.
The spitters
Spitters are pretty hard too.
Yeah, and then the jockeys who I don't know. I have some problems with Left 4 Dead 1. One of them being that they're never-ending fucking zombies everywhere.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool to a point. But when you're trying to figure out where to go and it's just nothing but fucking zombies, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I still like the game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a really, really well done game. But Left 4 Dead Game of the Year edition, go out and buy it because it's worth it.
You can get it on Steam cheap, and it comes with all the DLC for free. So
Yeah, you can also get it on Steam. Of course, usually when I'm talking about a game, unless I specify it's Xbox 360,
Is it also on the PlayStation 3?
who cares?
no,
No. Oh, sorry.
But
because Valve hates the PS.
yeah,
Oh, with good reason. Damn Blu-ray player.
yeah. But in case any of you didn't notice, I have an Xbox 360 and I have a PC, so that's what I'm going to talk about playing, unless I'm over at Harlow or Mackey's and playing something. But good investment and shit for, I don't know, what is it, $30 for the Game of the Year
I
edition?
believe that.
Yeah, it's 30.
Cody's that much,
Something
yeah.
like-
But you can find it for 20.
Yeah, so you can find it for 20. So you and like your buddies who also have video gaming apparatuses or apparati buy it and play through it together because
Yeah, it's among the
all
best
about,
co-op games ever.
Yep.
So
it's all about togetherness.
Yep. That and like Horde mode on Gears 2, I think are the most fun I've had co-op, and that's with terrible connection problems I had at the time. Left 4
Right.
Dead coming out, I can still say that.
So speaking of things that are coming out, we had the pleasure of getting. Well, you got, Harlow, the Blu-ray of District 9,
Yes, I did.
which came with something super special.
Would that be the God of War 3 demo?
The God of War 3 demo
you
from
have played
E3.
the God of War 3 demo?
I have, and watched the extra special footage at the end of it that shows you exactly what you just played.
Right.
It's kind of weird. Like they have this special behind the scenes thing, and the only footage they show you is the exact same
Yeah.
footage you just played. So
Well, it's
so is it God of War?
yeah, with
It is.
really pretty graphics.
Oh, it's God, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got to say, I knock PS3 all the time, but I don't know what it is about their textures. They're just better. I mean,
Yeah.
when it's an original game, I mean, their ports, 6 to 1, half dozen the other, but their original games, I don't know what it is about their lighting and textures. It's just there's a nice feel to it.
There's
Yeah.
a different way it renders.
well,
yeah.
also the folks that work on God of War just
Yeah.
have a friggin' Rain Man
Well,
ability
yeah,
to
they
make
got that like
just-
weird James Cameron, just go make the game. I don't care what it costs because
Well,
it's going to
yeah,
make a bunch
Well, I
of
mean,
money.
even
That-
God of War 1 and 2, the
Yeah.
PS3
That, and they-
versions of them, they still look good because all they really
the
did was turn
fucking-
on anti-aliasing and
Yeah.
up the resolution.
Yeah, because they
Well,
were already good looking.
the PS2
Yeah.
version.
I mean, they still look great.
God of War 2 had an HD option. You could play it in HD on the
Yeah.
PS2 if you had
Kinda.
the.
yeah,
It was
it worked better on the PS3. You can do it on there too.
yeah.
Except you have to plug your controller in because when you switch to
Yeah,
a
it
PS2
comes
game
up
on the
too
PS3,
fast.
it comes up too fast, and you have to try to turn your controller on and have it sync. So you're better just plug it in. So
Yeah.
Ah,
I didn't
gotcha.
bother at a certain point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, God of War
But-
1 and 2,
Yeah.
they still look great.
Yeah, and like if you had the component cables as opposed to the composite cables,
Yeah.
you could get a reasonably HD picture.
Yeah,
And
I think it went from 480i to 480p, so it was like
something like
It was
that.
like 540p.
was
or
it
something like
okay?
that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it was basically like going
slightly
from
higher
a
res.
Yeah.
regular DVD to progressive scan,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, but it certainly was better looking in
Oh, yeah.
HD, and God of War 3 has just
Yeah.
once again ramped it up. There's some really fucking crazy ways you can tear people apart, and
I'm particularly fond of
the fists.
well, the fists are really fun. That's a new weapon he has. It's just like these big giant fist things that he just starts beating on people with.
It's
but
awesome.
But he's got this one where he just like one of the grab moves you can do. You can grab them and you just start like steamrolling through people with the guy.
yeah,
you just grab them and you start just running through the guys, and then eventually like just tear them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it's a demo.
Yeah.
Oh God, the blood. Oh God, man,
Yeah,
it's everything you want.
I mean, this
in
was an
God of War
E3
3.
demo, so I mean, it's going on 6 months old, I think. I mean,
Right.
give or take, right?
Right.
I mean, so I'm sure the level of polish from the final version is going to be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause this
I
is
think it comes out in March.
yeah, it's pretty
So
soon.
it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this demo goes back a ways, so
Yeah.
I'm sure.
God, I need to play the. I have too many games to play. Damn it!
Well, this will
It's-
take you 20 minutes. Well, it'll take you 20 minutes of installing it off the goddamn Blu-ray disc.
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, because
Yeah,
it
you
has to
have to
copy
install
3
it.
gigs off the disc onto your
Wow.
PlayStation 3, then do its little install, and then you're ready to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's kind of a pain in
Yeah.
the kind of a big pain in the
yeah,
ass.
you'll be
but-
installing just about as long as you will be playing. So.
God,
Right.
It's like I want to play Batman. I want to play God of War. I want to.
Yeah.
I wanna play
just-
games,
I'm saying,
damn it.
like, turn on your PlayStation and let this be installing while you're doing other things.
While you're
Yeah.
playing some more Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That'll
But yeah, it's
I can do that.
maximize your time.
it's not gonna wow you with anything particularly
Yeah.
new. It's just more
More
and
pretty.
better.
And better looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know if the controls work
They were
any
pretty much
better,
the
but
same. I still would like a camera, but,
yeah.
that's minor nitpick.
Yeah.
I can see why they do it the way they do it because they present the cinematic views. But
Right.
it gets a little janky sometimes when you go to a certain place and you got to figure out to walk forward. You kind of got to go a little bit diagonal. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's got.
But I mean that
But all
stuff.
in
If
all.
if you've played the first two,
Yeah.
you're used to it, and you know what to expect.
yeah, I'm just glad it's coming out this late and we don't have to deal with 6-axis controls or something stupid.
Yeah.
throw your chains with a 6-axis.
You know there'll be something like that in there.
Well, I'm hoping they don't.
Use Poseidon's rage by shaking their...
Yeah.
No, if it's just
Six
shaking, like fine,
Oh, yeah.
whatever. I can shake a controller and it usually works.
Actually, was there... Now I'm trying to think if there was something where a guy grabbed me and I had to shake him off. Or was that... I'm thinking...
No,
might be-
it was a stick waggle.
Was it a stick waggle? Yeah. So if they didn't do it for that, they probably won't. I think I'm thinking of another PS3 game where you had to...
Resistance had that.
Yeah.
If you got grabbed by the dudes, you had to shake.
Shake. Yeah. But anywho.
Yeah.
Yeah, God of War 3 looks awesome. Probably
And,
going
hey,
to look
it comes
awesome.
on a great movie, so,
Yeah.
If you have
Yeah.
Blu-ray... Well, if you have a PS3, you have a Blu-ray player, so...
Yeah.
Go buy
you go.
District 9.
If you have a-
picks, or BJ's Bamfcast pick for the best movie of the aughts.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. That's a good place to end.
I think so.
Let's end this Hatecast on a positive note, huh?
Yeah.
So, you
Video
can...
games are awesome.
They are.
Yay! Even PC games are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even some games on the Wii.
Yay!
Are cool.
That's crazy. So, you can check us out at noquarters.net is the website.
Yes.
You can
Very
find us,
important.net.
You can find us on the Twitters at noquartersnet.
Yep.
You can email us, most importantly, at talk@noquarters.net.
Use a subject line that intrigues us.
Yeah. Like, I fucked your mom, and here's pics.
Right.
We'll be sure and open that. You can find us on the Facebook. Just search for No Quarters. Be a fan on there.
Fan us up, bitches.
What else? Am I missing something?
Check out the show notes.
Check out the show notes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We always have fun with the show notes.
I revamped that a little bit. They're going to show up as inline postings. I'm going to make sure that they show up just after the postings. I'll post date them, or I'm sorry, Mackie will because he does the show notes.
I enjoy doing the show notes.
And so yeah, you can click on the categories up at the top of the page and read the show notes. There's links to the songs we use.
And it also tells you most of the games we discuss. Anything
Yeah.
that we discuss for more than like a
So
second.
if you want to hear us
Right.
talk about games,
Right.
and you don't want to necessarily listen to the whole podcast,
Or if you just want to see what we're talking about, or
Yeah.
if you
Yeah, maybe you're like, those
Once you've-
fuckers talked about MMOs for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Skip that shit.
yeah.
well, once you're finished listening to the podcast, and since you enjoyed it so much, you were laughing uncontrollably, and you have to go back to see what exactly we were talking about. Mm-hmm. You can do that at
you'll
the
know.
show notes.
Yeah, but I'm putting direct links to the OC remix songs that we use for the music.
Yeah.
So
And big thanks go out to ocremix.org.
yeah, awesome dudes. Definitely go download the Hell March from the first
God.
one.
Oh, man.
That is such an epic version. I included
honestly,
a small
I want
snippet
that
of
to be like our theme song.
I wish we could. Yeah, I mean we could. But
If we-
I want to put that in front of every podcast.
We need to contact Westwood.
I want to have it at the end though, because that's a
Yeah.
lot to live up to. I gotta say,
Yeah.
the whole like
But God, just
the
hearing
whole,
that song makes me
yeah.
want to play video games.
That
Yeah.
song
I
is like
swear.
5.5, 6 minutes long,
Oh, yeah.
and it just gets so epic by the end.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they
That's
have
from
they
Red
have,
Alert,
they
by the
have
way.
2 awesome torrents you can go download that are their entire collection up to current.
Mm-hmm.
And they really recommend you do it that way. Go grab uTorrent or some torrent program and do it that way
right.
because it saves them bandwidth. And
Yeah, save them bandwidth, and you'll
yeah,
probably
they're-
get it faster.
They're an
anyway.
org. They're non-profit. Don't steal their bandwidth, you fuckers.
Yeah.
They have YouTube previews for pretty much every song, so you can go there.
And they're giving you stuff for free.
And they're giving you stuff for free.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want 1 or 2 songs, yeah, sure, grab it from
Hell
one of their-
March.
one of their mirrors. But if
Yeah.
you don't want the whole great thing, 2 torrents, and you got 3,000-4,000 songs.
It's a lot of songs.
It's a lot of songs.
Yep. So thanks for listening to our noquarters.net episode 3.11. And
3.14.
3.11.
5.
It's 3.11. It's like Windows
Thank you.
For work groups?
Yes.
for work groups.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
The
I know
Nobel-
this because 3.1 is just Windows.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause we're a
NT,
group, see?
motherfucker.
Yeah, PC games.
3.54.
Anyhow.
Windows 3.11 was truly the age of video. Of
Truly,
PC,
truly
of
the
PC
age of
video
PC
games,
video gaming,
yes.
when you had to boot into DOS to play.
Truly, it was the
M1A1.
age of Minesweeper.
Right.
All right. Let's not start something else.
We're going to go boot into DOS so we can play M1A1 Tank Commander.
Yeah.
Jane's Longbow.
Yeah, I was going to say some
Yes.
Jane's Flight Sims.
Yep. All right. I'm Mackie.
On the beach,
And I'm Harlow.
and we're No Coders. See y'all next time.